is blue.
Where?
Right-click, color tint. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. It's fine.
Yeah, pick whatever color you want.
Well, I mean, ideally it will match your actual player colors because that's a lot easier for people to understand what's going on.
Everybody's brown then.
That's racist.
How is that racist?
Okay, and then let's color our pal here nice and red. There we go.
Where's our prisoners?
One of them, the captain, is currently in one of the bunk rooms, and the other pirate is just kind of in the cargo hold.
All right, so I should probably tell everyone what's going on now because we are streaming with a massive audience. So hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are once again continuing our Edge of the Empire tabletop series. This is also taking place in the Star Wars universe, which you may have heard of. So I'm going to pass things over to our wonderful game master, who is so generous and kind to us, to be our host for this evening. So Evil Bob the Bob, do your thing.
It's very nice of you to butter me up there. So yes, we have our players. If they could introduce themselves, I'm the games master. Let's start with Kalo, because he's always so fun and outspoken.
Hey, how you doing?
What's your character's name?
His name's Thar.
What's his species?
He's an Ithorian.
Does he have a job?
He likes to help people while also, stealing their money.
He doctors.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. All right.
I mean, that's helping people.
Inertial, you're next.
I'm Inertial. I'm playing the droid Vernon. Can't even remember my own name. I'm a thief type person. Yeah, that's about it.
You're a thief?
Only technically.
Well,
He's programmed to be a thief, yes.
I do remarkably little stealing. Sorry.
Well, next up we have fan favorite Vuz Kuz. Vuz Kaz? How did... Vuz Por.
Cause?
Oh, I don't even fucking know my last name. Well, I'm a Salonian, and I annoy the rest of the crew. I'm also a mechanic. Now you, Slevered.
I'm Slevered. I play Waldern he's a Klaatuini smuggler. He's the captain of the ship, the Avedon Hale, and generally incompetent unless he's shooting things or flying.
Yes, and as the captain, would you like to remind everybody what exciting escapades you guys got up to last time?
Sure. So we got into for the most part, we'll get for we'll head down to like the last thing that we did. We tried to find a ship called the Fereallis, and the Fereallis was a ship that we encountered a session before that, where it tried to fake being like an injured ship. We identified it as not being actually injured. We called the police or security on them, and they flew away. So we were like, okay, what type of thing? Do they have like a bounty on them or anything? Turns out they did. So we started to search for them throughout the sector. We managed to actually find them in an asteroid field. Got really lucky. So we chose to dock with them. And we had the great idea of getting into a direct firefight with a much larger ship than us. Turns out their crew is a lot stronger at combat than we are. We managed to somehow capture their captain and one other of his goons, and we locked the door. So now we are still currently docked with the ship, but we have
lock the door and call the police.
Actually, we had to finish the session by closing the door and starting to undock, right? So
yes. So you're
you're
currently undocking from the Fereallis. Yes, you're currently in the planetary rings of the planet Fereallis. So it's a relatively dense area, and you've got a nearby planet you can flee to if necessary. But also, they have a nearby planet they can flee to if they want. You're in the core worlds, though, so there's plenty of law enforcement about. And as people may be able to see, if Corey goes over everybody's wound and strain thresholds, the party took a bit of a beating last time.
A bit?
So yeah,
and a couple of players have 2 critical injuries each.
I believe, is Inertial unconscious or whatever?
No, you got me back on my feet, but I don't have any more droid health packs.
Yeah, the next wound Inertial takes, Inertial's going. Vernon is going down.
Kalo's not in bad shape.
Yeah, Kalo's doing surprisingly well, but he is a doctor, so you don't.
That blows my mind because I got the bejesus knocked out of me.
Well, you have 2 crits.
I was 1 point away from being down, but between episodes with the experience we gained last time, I have taken an increased. I think I took an increased wound and strain threshold because my puns give me strain, which isn't a game mechanic I remember reading about in the manual, but Bob assures me it's a real thing. So.
Yes. Since last session ended on something of a cliffhanger, I've declined to roll obligation again. So we're going to keep on with our current wound and strain thresholds for now, since we ended. We're basically catching up literally seconds after. But we do need to re-roll the destiny pool, so everybody has a force die in front of them. If you could do that, let's see how fate.
Oh no!
Is fate on your side?
Ooh, 2 light. Ooh,
1 light.
1 dark side.
1 dark.
So that's 2 dark and 3 light, I believe, which isn't too bad. 1, 2, 3, 1. There we go. There's our destiny pool. So quite even to start with. Bit of favouring the players, which isn't a bad thing. So you'd undocked just barely, and the problem is that you're within weapons range of the Fereallis. What's your plan here? Are you going to attempt to flee, or are you going to try and stand and fight a little bit?
Captain?
Slev?
Oh, Captain, my captain?
Captain is currently in the cockpit. He basically has the controls here. Everybody else is kind of running to whatever position they feel is necessary, which may or may not involve cowering in a corner. We'll see.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up comms with the Fereallis. And I'm going to open up comms and say, we have your captain. If you want him back, I'm willing to trade.
The captain for the ship. You all float out here.
You get a calm response. Yeah, we know you've got the captain. But to be honest, I've always kind of wanted to be captain myself, so let's just say there's not really going to be any negotiations right now.
Oh, he just totally Captain Phillips you.
I'm gonna take a run to the co-pilot seat and say maybe we should call system security.
That sounds like a good idea.
I'm gonna head for a gun.
Yeah, so with that, could you all roll initiative, please?
Sure.
Quick question: did that get broadcasted? Does everyone know that they basically just told us to piss off?
I mean, you guys are in the planetary rings. As far as you're aware, no one really flies into the planetary rings very much because it's quite dense and dangerous. And neither ship has very strong communications arrays. Your communications ability is the same as your sensor range, and the sensor range of your ship is short. So it's only going out somewhere into the planetary rings, which are about medium range and thickness.
Like, did we all hear that they just told us no?
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's presumably, unless Walden has chosen not to tell everybody else. Presumably, you all know.
Yeah. We're an open comms community here. I always keep the comms open across the ship so people know.
Yeah, so if you could make some simple vigilance checks, please. We'll see how this goes down.
Is that just the captain, or...?
That'll be everybody, because you will all make your own movements during this course of the combat encounter, depending on how this goes. There may or may not be very much combat involved. We'll see. So that is 2 success, 1 advantage.
There was no...
No difficulty is correct. That's fine.
Okay.
2 advantage for me.
Okay.
Okay, simple, not easy, right? That's
Yes.
Yeah,
me,
2
okay.
success, 1 advantage, I believe, unless I'm like...
Yes, that was you.
Yep, that's correct. So who's next? So we've had Kalo and... Okay, so this is our very vigilant Vuzpor, who also has 2 success, 1 advantage. And finally, our hopefully vigilant, somewhat vigilant, of average vigilance droid, with some training.
I'm going to suffer a strain to add an extra success. I just got a rapid reaction.
Excellent. That's a great talent to have. So that puts you up at 2 success. Right. So now the our pirate pals are going to have a bit of a go. Let's see. They just have 1.
What's the state of our ship right now, Slav? I think it took some strain when we were doing stuff.
It took a little bit of strain, 3 strain total.
Am I able to do anything about that in combat?
Yes. So you can perform the damage control maneuver, which allows you to repair system strain.
Okay. So
and you can do that as many times as you want. However, you cannot do... you can't actually do hull trauma repair more than once in a combat.
Okay.
Hull trauma is hard to repair. System strain is relatively easy. System restrain is basically saying hold together to the ship computer.
Okay.
Well, I apparently have a degree in telling ships to hold together, so...
Yep.
Now's your time to shine, little man.
Okay.
Okay. Whoops. So the initiative order is we have 3 player characters going first, followed by 3 non-player characters, then a player character, then a non-player character. So which player character would like to go first in this, our first round of space combat? Potentially combat.
Elect for Slev. Captain, oh Captain.
Okay, I'll leave comms open as an alert to basically say to local Imperials, if there are any around, that we're in direct combat with the ferry.
Okay.
I'm going to guess it's not an actual action, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to position the Avedon Hail in such a way that we will only be hit by one of the weapons on the Fereallis.
So to do that, you're going to need to make 2 pilot-only maneuvers. You're going to need to accelerate, which is 1 maneuver, because you're currently going at speed 0. And then that allows you to go to speed 1. Then speed 1 allows you to take any maneuver within the close range. So then the thing is, because you're in a planetary ring, you're going to need to make a piloting check to make that second maneuver.
Gotcha.
So for the ship to take 2 pilot-only maneuvers, it will take 2 system strain. So I'll just add a couple of system strain there to the Avedon Hail. So you want to position the Avedon Hail. You move up to speed 1 with the acceleration maneuver. And then, oh, hang on, are those linked? They are. That's awkward. It seems that the system strain and... for some reason, the system strain counter and your personal strain counter are linked.
Oh, no! I was at 8, I know that.
Okay.
I'm one with the ship, and the ship is with me.
You can track it on the right there. Like right here, if you can see that.
That's weird. For some reason, it links it when you press it on the copied one, but your initial one doesn't affect the copied one.
I think it's because it's a reference.
Yeah, it's presumably a reference of some kind. It's weird because they have different GUIDs as well.
I'll keep track of it. I'll keep track of my wounds and strain on a piece of paper.
Okay, cool. So anyway, the ship's now at 5 system strain, so you were at 8 personal strain, and it's going at speed 1. And yeah, so the difficulty is, again, so this is that fun difficulty where you take half of the... let's see, so that's going to be... So your base difficulty is 1, and then it's upgraded twice, which is half the silhouette. So the difficulty is base 1, so it's going to be 1 red and 1 purple. 1 difficulty, yeah, there we go. So that's the difficulty of the pilot. And then the Avedon Hell, does it have any setbacks to handling? It has -1 handling, so you need to add a setback. Yep. So this represents the difficulty of maneuvering your ship through dense terrain. It's 2 success, 1 advantage. Excellent. So you move the... So you can pick up the Avedon Hail and position it how you'd like now within close range of the TL100, TL1200. So you're specifically setting up so only one of their guns is in range.
Yes.
Can fire. Okay,
yes.
Great. That's good.
And
so that's
both
your...
of them are in range, so...
Okay, cool. So that's your turn. Mm-hmm. So who wants to go next?
The advantage, the specific pieces that I can do with this, I can send a boost over to the next person. I can... What else is there? I guess can I remove system strain of the ship itself with this? I don't know if that's actually part of the rules, though.
No, you can't reduce system strain, but you can reduce personal strain.
Okay. I'm going to hold off on reducing my own personal strain. What I'll do is I'll give a boost to the next.
All right. Can I go next?
Yeah, fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
So is Captain Deveronian passed out still? Tied up?
Yes.
We restrained him,
yes.
right?
He's I don't think you restrained him unless
yes, I did.
Okay, Thorian put the binders on, so he's bound and unconscious in one of the bunks.
And that was just for his own personal amusement, not for any security reasons.
No, it was for security reasons. No. Hold on.
All right. So I'm gonna, within my turn, do I have enough movement to run back to wherever I need to try to fix something and reduce the strain? I'm assuming.
Yes. So you can basically do that in most places on the ship, as long as you're not directly like a gunnery port or something. You can move somewhere and make an appropriate check, which in this case is you're making the damage control.
If I stay in the crew cabins, if I make the beds, does that count?
Not quite, no.
Oh fuck.
Okay. So
we're in a firefight. Shoot them.
What? There's no them to shoot. We're in our own ship. I'm gonna reduce the strain. Then I'm gonna go up to our other turret.
Okay, so you're going to take a personal maneuver to move to an appropriate engineering location and perform the damage control. So you have system strain less than half the threshold right now. So you can make an easy mechanics check, and any success will reduce system strain by 1. So each success will reduce it by 1.
All right, and
so you should be pretty good at this, yeah.
Where is the thing? Okay, there we go. And the thing to, I think that was removing a setback, a little pill on the black thing, or.
Yes, that removes a setback. There's no current setback in this situation, unless the ship starts getting buffeted about. And
for my fine-tuning trait, when reducing the amount of system strain on a starship, reduce 1 additional strain per rank of fine-tuning. So that's on top of the
yes, that's on top of the success. Yes,
additional strain. All right.
Yep.
4 success, 4 advantage, plus 1.
Oh, it's cleared the board.
Damn. So there is no more system strain on the Avedon Hail. You give it a nice massage, and
stay together.
the computer's very the ship's computer and all the electronics get nicely recalibrated. So, what would you like to do with your 4 advantage? That's a really nice amount.
Would I be able to use any of that to get to the gun that Vernon's not in? Is there any way to
you can take so you can get two of those advantages for a free maneuver to move to the gunnery position.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do, and then since I have 2 more, can I just pass a boost on to our next player character to go?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Your turn, Vernon.
All right. Can I target a specific area of the other ship?
Yes, if you want to target a specific component, it will add 2 setback to the it'll add 2 setback to the shot, and then each aiming maneuver you take will remove 1 of those setback. Because that's what happens when you're targeting specific components. It's the same if you're targeting a specific part of a person. So if are you looking to specifically disable their weapons, for example?
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, what will happen is, if you successfully score a hit and deal damage past their armor, you will automatically deal a component critical hit and disable their weapons.
Okay.
So, would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
So
it's time to use a light side point. Just saying.
I'd sign off on that.
I sign off on that, Sliver.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
So the difficulty is based on comparative silhouette. Since you guys are only one silhouette apart, it's an average difficulty.
Are we 2 silhouettes apart? It's
No, yours is your silhouette 4, their
and their
silhouette 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So it's average difficulty. There's one setback because of all the debris around base, and then you add 2 additional setback because of the specific target that you're trying to hit. Now, as I said, you can remove one of the setback with an aim maneuver, and you can take it.
I think I'm going to take the strain to take 2 away.
Okay, fair enough. So I think you're at 7 total.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. So you remove 2 of the setback. Okay. And then
I guess I will flip a point.
might be a good idea.
The DM says sinisterly, okay?
Gotta get him to 5 dark side points by the next round.
Oh, I should note. Sorry. You're also, because you're firing on a ship with shielding, that adds another setback. There's a lot of setback involved in this. So they have one rank of defense, as well as all of the debris floating around.
I also gave you a boost for...
Yes.
I will take that. All right, any more setbacks you want to add?
You got
Actually-
this, Vernon!
Sorry,
wait!
let me stop a second here. I'm actually going to do the sensible thing and remove one of the setbacks and say we're basically going to take the high, because the asteroids or the shields will get in the way. Basically, I'll just have one setback and keep it simple in terms of defense rating, because it can get really messy with defense rating and too many setbacks stacking up. So let's just go with that. Taking your nice shot with your medium laser cannon turret, and that's 1 success.
Hey,
1
I hit
threat.
something.
So your laser cannon turret on the
I never
on the Abdon
specified.
Hill deals 6 damage with a crit rating of 3 and range of close. You're in close range, so that's good. And so you deal 7 damage to the Fereallis. It has a decent amount of armor, so it absorbs some of that. And yeah, you perform a component critical hit because you break past the armor. Let me just double check.
Woo! Get him inertial.
The component critical hit means that they can attempt to repair it, of course, if they want.
They don't want to. I asked
But
them.
it might take some...
They don't want to.
Yeah, one component of the attacker's choice is knocked offline, is rendered inoperable until the end of the following round. So you knock out their gun for a round.
Did he specify which gun specifically?
The one that I
presumably
can
the
hit,
one-
I would assume.
The one that Walden pointed the ship towards. So in this case, it is the port side gun.
Okay, sorry.
So that is down for 1 round. And it can't be repaired until the round is up. Okay, cool. So that was a not quite successful hit there. You blast away and smash their gun to pieces through the shielding. Right, next up, it's time for the bad guys. They are also going to accelerate to speed 1. And that's going to be their piloting maneuver. So they are now at speed 1. The thing is, because it's a rather ungainly ship, they don't think it's very safe to turn around and face you. So instead, basically, they are going to, I think, try and... let me think here.
Oh yeah, we totally ignored our plan, didn't we?
Well, we had
We had a plan.
but they just told us to piss off.
I thought the plan was going to be to shoot their door open as soon as we unlocked.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, well, life is hard.
Okay, so the one of the guys on the ship is going to perform the co-piloting action and is going to make an average piloting check. Let me just check. Do any of them have any piloting skill? They do not. So they just have... So this is something you guys can do as well. is perform the co-piloting. If you're in the co-pilot seat, and they got 1 success, 1 advantage, and if you look at your cheat sheet, you can see that each success downgrades the difficulty of the pilot's next piloting check by 1. So that helps them navigate through the asteroid, through the planetary rings.
Okay. So
that's pretty good for them. The other people can't really do much. I think they're actually going to. One of them is going to try and repair some of the hull trauma that you guys did, and they're going to make what's funnily given. It's the manual repairs, which is a hard athletics check to basically pick up some panels and bolt them on to cover up the fire or whatever it is that you.
Everything's on fire.
If you just cover the fire, it's like it goes away.
Yeah, because this is Star Wars. We're not that difficulty. It's hard.
That's incredibly challenging.
And unfortunately, they get a complete wash. They fail to repair the damage to the Fereallis, and it's the finals player character's turn.
Okay. So a question about like slicing in general. What can I affect if I try to do that?
If you slice the enemy systems, you can do things like disable a weapon for a round. You can use advantage to spend to inflict system strain, or you can reduce. So if you look at the cheat sheet you have in your character area,
right,
because you can, on a successful check, you can reduce the defense of one zone for 1 round per success. A triumph may be spent to disable a weapon, and two advantage may be spent to inflict 1 system strain.
Can I disable their engines?
I think I would allow that with a triumph.
Okay, I'm just wondering. That's all. So we're still behind them technically.
You're to that port.
They haven't moved, is what I'm asking.
No, they've accelerated, but you're both moving at the same speed. So you're basically both just moving through the planetary rings at a low speed.
You could try to take out their hyperdrive.
Yeah, sure. I'll try and do a slice for that, I guess. I mean,
that would require I would say disabling a system like that requires a triumph on the slicing check.
Is it possible to like have it be? So, okay, quick question. So, if I say, like, just for instance, I want to try and disable their other gun, but I get a triumph, is that like I can change that? Because triumph seem to be multi-purpose.
Yeah. So it says a triumph may be spent to disable a weapon for 1 round, but I would allow that triumph to also disable to alternatively disable another important system if you chose.
Okay, I'll just try and do a roll to disable their other gun that's like actually still active.
Okay, bear in mind you don't have any.
I mean, what am I gonna do here?
Well, you have no proficiency in computers.
You can assist. You can do an assist action as well. By the way.
Yeah, so you can do leadership checks. There are loads of different actions you can take if you look in the Starship Combat cheat sheet. So you can plot a course. You can plot a course for. Sorry, I think the best thing for you would be co-piloting. If you did a co-piloting check to help Walden, you could downgrade the difficulty of his next check, for example. If you wish.
Sure, we'll do that.
So that's an average piloting check. So average piloting space in this case. Sadly, you're not very agile, so I'm not sure if that would be a very good use of your time either.
Assist might be the most valuable thing here. Add a boost to the next person's action.
Sure. We'll just
so you can take an assist maneuver. So how do you want to describe the assist maneuver? Because that's something where you're basically giving who are you particularly assisting and how are you assisting them?
I would like to try and analyze their past like movements that we've seen in the past and try and see how the pilot likes to move. So that we can better predict what he's going to do.
Okay, so are you helping? Vernon on the guns, or Vers on the guns?
Well, we'll do it with the pilot because I think Slev's our best bet. No offense.
Okay, so you're going to give Walden a boost, basically saying, "Look, you can go around that asteroid and it'll be fine."
Yeah.
All right. Okay, and the final guy is also going to attempt to do the manual repairs and succeeds. So for the manual repairs, I believe that is 1 point of hull trauma. That's it. 1 point of hull trauma removed. So that's a very negligible impact. But it looks like you see there's like a small hole where Vernon has blasted the ship, and you see like a plate go into place to cover it up. Is essentially what just happened.
What's our ship's hull trauma threshold, Slav?
Our ship's hull trauma is 22, and we have not taken any damage.
Yes, you guys have taken no damage yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're
I just
round
had
into round.
no frame of reference for what 1 meant there.
We're into round 2, and player character goes first.
Do you want to do like me and Vernon go first, and then Sliver?
So what I can do here, could I do a fire discipline action?
Yes, you could. Definitely.
Okay. So what I think I'm going to use the boost that Kalo gave me, that Thar gave me, and I will do a fire discipline action. So that's leadership or discipline.
Yep. So presumably you'll want to choose leadership in this case. Yeah,
I have no real reason to do any type of maneuver with my ship because I'm in the correct position, and I don't think they can actually gain advantage with the size of the ship they have.
No, they can't. They can rotate around to point the other gun at you, but it will take them making a maneuver through this complex, difficult terrain. So it will be difficult for them. You know it would be very hard. They could make a collision happen, for example. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a valid thing to do. So yeah, a hard leadership check.
Yeah, I think that might be valuable. So what that'll give you guys is some extra. It gives you some boost on shooting.
Yep.
I think it's the next one. Yeah.
Yes, the next crew member adds a boost. Each additional 2 success grants this to an additional crew member. If you spend 3 advantage, every hit can also inflict 1 system strain on the target until your next turn. So if you get 3 advantage and a few success, you've got a really nice result there. So that's your amazing leadership skills. So it's hard, so that's just 3 purple.
Do it.
And a boost, of course.
Okay.
From Kalo being like, hey, over there.
Do better.
Oh, what a look at that.
Oh!
So can we have a rousing speech befitting this triumph?
So I'm going to identify with this little leadership piece. I'm going to glare outside of the cockpit window, identify that there's this little tiny spot that's exposed, that it's just like exposed wiring or something like that. So it's like, if we hit this thing, we can drop it type of thing. So yeah. I'm gonna yell down the hallway. It's like, shoot at the glowing green thing.
All right. So I think basically I will treat that as the next shot. The next shot a gunner takes, aside from having a boost because you had how many success? You had two success, so you give a boost. You have 3 advantage, so you can also give.
Spend that 3 advantage for this specific thing.
So you can inflict system strain with every hit, and with the triumph, you're saying you basically want to make another component critical hit happen.
Yes. So let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. So we'll random. I'll roll a die to see which component gets hit in this particular case. But yeah, I'll allow it so that the next successful hit by a weapon will deal another component critical hit without having to aim for a component, basically. Because everyone's following your excellent leadership.
Sorry about that.
If you're lucky, it'll hit the engines. Okay. So that was an amazing leadership.
I don't know. I don't feel like the speech was especially inspiring. I'm still waiting.
Brevity is the soul of leadership.
Okay, so with
I'm
that,
just thinking, I'm trying to figure out my motivation here. Like, am I thinking that, wow, look how efficient he was with his time?
Wow, that spot sure is green.
So who wants to take the shot?
Go for it, Corey.
Okay, I'll do that. What do I got to do for that?
So that's an average difficulty with 1 setback. and then your gunnery skill.
Gunnery? Okay, well.
So that's
Don't miss.
That's just 3 green, I think, for you. And then you have a boost because of the success. And you can take an aim maneuver as well if you wish, because otherwise you'll just... Yeah, so add another boost. Otherwise, you basically just sit there in the gunnery seat, right?
For me, you had the aim maneuver remove setback.
Yes, because you were aiming for a specific location. This setback is due to defense and environment, not due to aiming for a specific location.
So before I do this, do we want to give Bob more points?
We're good. I'm confident in your role here.
Okay, it's just a button, but this isn't me actually doing anything. Don't blame me.
Oh, looks good.
Okay.
2
Oh my
successes
God.
by advantage. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so let's see. Ship components. Let me think how many components the ship has. It probably has like engine, hyperdrive, sensors,
Weapons,
communications. Yeah, communications. There's a list of them, of course, in the book somewhere.
We got this, Vernon. If you get your
Engines,
head too.
hyperdrive, navicomp, escape pods, sensors, comms, and transponder. So we have that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll roll a d6 and roll transponder into comms. Do we have a d6 anywhere? No, that would be 2.
Objects?
Oh, yeah, duh. In standard objects, of course, there's a d6. D6.
If you get your shot, Vernon, then I won't wipe your memory soon.
So, Vuz, do you want to...
Always appreciated.
Vuz, do you want to roll your d6 and find out which component...
Oh, I get
which
to do
component
it?
Yeah, of course you do it.
What an honor.
6, that is their communications. You knock out their communications.
Oh, good!
They can no longer talk to you. You can no longer talk to them.
Woo!
I had like a planned action and you messed it up. Good job, buddy.
Wow. Hateful.
However, you also rolled enough advantage to get a standard critical hit as well.
Oh.
If you like.
Yes.
Crit him.
How many does that take?
That takes 3.
Okay, so then I'll be down to 2.
So advantageous.
Okay, should I roll this again for the crit, or are you gonna...
You'll be rolling a d100 for the crit. So, the quit. Just get a lift. So there you go. So give those 2 a roll, and we'll see what comes out of the...
57, I think.
Let's have a look. Is that... Yes, that is indeed a 57. That's a pretty good one. That is... Shields failing.
Oh boy.
So they must reduce defense in all zones by 1 until repaired. So you've taken their shields down.
Yeah, Kalo.
Woo. You've taken their shields.
All right.
Their shields and their communications are down. Okay.
All right, and I passed off a boost. That takes 1 advantage.
1 advantage to the next player. Yeah, then you can recover 1 strain with the last leftover advantage. Might be an idea.
That is what I was gonna do. Where I knew that was a crit. I considered using all 5 for it, or 4 of them. Because that opens up so many possibilities for me later on, but should I just put that strain right back on?
The most important thing. And of course, your attack also dealt damage. So that attack was, 2 success? You dealt 8. So you dealt another chunk of hull trauma. You put a gouging hole in the side of their ship. It's not quite exposing the interior. And you also deal system strain as well. I believe... What does it say? Does it say you inflict system strain per damage or system strain? 1 system strain. Okay, you inflict 1 system strain on the target, as well as regular damage. Okay, so who wants to go next?
I guess I'll just follow up with that.
Yeah, just follow up with another blast onto the Fereallis. So much for capturing the ship, am I right?
I don't want to hear that from you.
You're not allowed to talk smack.
So yeah, in this case, they have no shields, but they have defense from the asteroids around them. You have the boost. It's an average gunnery check, Not hard. Don't worry.
all right.
Yeah, I believe that's unless you wish to. You can also take an aim maneuver for an additional boost.
Keep forgetting that's a thing.
Yep, it's a very powerful thing. And it looks like you miss, actually. Yeah, you blast off.
I was
and you hit
distracted by
asteroid.
the green spot.
You actually, well, judging by the fact that the setback had a failure on it, it looks like you hit some of the debris in the planetary rings and just blasted them into pretty colors. However, you did have 2 advantage, so you could recover some strain, which might be a good idea, or you could take a free maneuver, or a few other things.
I'm going to recover 1 strain and pass a boost on. My colorful swearing it just raises someone's spirit.
Well, Kalos, because it'll be Thar's spirits, because Thar's going next, so I wouldn't be surprised if Thar's spirits were raised by a round of swearing from a droid.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
right.
Funny. Okay, so now that the Fereallis has taken a pretty heavy hit, they're going to try and bring it. The captain is going to try and bring it around to fire on the Abaddon Hail. So they're going to make a piloting maneuver in close range, but of course, so they're moving at speed 1, and then they have upgraded twice because they have the because of the co-piloting check they did last turn. And then they're going to... So their piloting is just that. So they're going to see if they can
What about their
move
handling?
around. Oh, and they have -3 handling, yeah. Minus 3 handling. So, yeah, they're going to have a great time. And... Oh, no, 2 threat. Oh, dear. Okay, so how would you guys like the threat to be spent against them?
So that asteroid, if you guys let me, that asteroid that was missed, it sends a bunch of debris out. So right when they turn, they get hit by a bunch of the debris that asteroid previously, that was previously shot by.
Yep, that sounds pretty good to me. You want to inflict some system strain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So they overcorrect and end up back in the same exact position that they were at.
They just rotate in place.
Well, that's effectively, so when a piloting check fails, essentially that's what happens. You can't move to the location that you want to move. So they fail to rotate the ship around to fire upon you, essentially is what happens there. And so the next NPC is going to try and do some damage control to repair that strain that you just inflicted upon them. The problem is these aren't very smart. It's going to be easy because they don't have a super amount of
strain yet.
A strain or damage yet. But they're not that smart, so they only have
the boss did this for us before.
A cool 1 intellect. So in fact, it's going to take 2 NPCs working together to have any chance of doing anything. So 2 of them are going to work together to try and repair some of the system strain. And they fail miserably.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so, Thar, what would you like to do? They pass a boost along to the next guy.
So their communications are still down?
Their communications are down, their shields are down. Their port-side weapon is still down until next round.
I'm gonna turn on the intercom and, do we have one of those specifically? What I'm trying to do is contact the people that are on our ship. Like
we have a PA system, so you can.
Okay,
you can yell out to people,
and most of you have comlinks.
I just want to yell out to them and say, "Do you have any sort of way of contacting them? Their communications are down, and I promise they're going to die."
Are you trying to say this to the captain and the pirate?
Yeah, they're
unconscious.
No, the other one was just he surrendered.
Oh, okay. Okay. He shouts out, I mean, I have a comlink that probably will get to one of them. That was loud soda.
Yes, it was. I'm gonna go and try and take his comlink from him and see if I can get it to work at all.
Okay, so you take a couple of maneuvers and go to the cargo hold and take his comlink. What would you like to say on the comlink?
Is it working is the real question here.
It seems to be working, yes, but you think if you got any further away from the Fereallis, it would stop working quite quickly. It's
Okay.
only working because you're still so close to it.
I'm just gonna listen. If you keep on this course, your ship is going to explode. We are willing to negotiate, power down your weapons, and we can make a deal.
So, are you trying to negotiate with them, like actually negotiate,
Oh yeah, actually negotiate with them.
or are you trying? Or are you trying to? I mean, you're kind of threatening them a bit, right? Because you're saying their ship will explode. So I'd say you're kind of coercing them a little.
Is it a threat if it's true?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not. I suppose you're right, but I wouldn't say that what I was. It's up to you. DM discretion, obviously.
It sounds like coercion to me because you're threatening their destruction if they don't comply, and that sounds to me like coercion. So, if you could make let's have a look. Oh, this is going to be nice. You just have to make an easy coercion check.
Oh yeah,
with the guy you're talking to.
You got this.
And also, you're going to have to take 2 strain because it took you 2 maneuvers to get to the guy to pick up the comlink. So just take a couple of strain as well. So to take this action as well, you'll need to take a couple of strain. So this is going to be an easy coercion check. You have 3 ability. I'm actually going to upgrade this once, so it's going to be 1 red. So just 1 red. There you go.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
There's a droid swearing in the background.
And you failed.
Oh.
There was a boost.
Ha! It's merely a scratch. Oh, there was a boost. Was there a boost?
Yeah. I passed
yes,
on
there was a
online.
boost. Okay, sure. So let's just. So this was total 3 advantage. So let's just clear this and roll the boost separately.
Oh.
And you got 5 advantage. So you can't get them to surrender. But what would you like your 5 advantage to do?
Can I get an idea? Like what can I do with it?
And you can add a bunch of setback to stuff they're doing. So if you look at the ground combat cheat sheet, you can see add setback to the targeted character's next check. So presumably you're trying to talk to whoever's currently in charge, like the second in command, the one who said they wanted to be captain, the one who's presumably piloting the ship right now.
What a legend!
Battlefield promotion.
So for 2 advantage, you can add 1 setback. For 3 advantage, let's have a look. I mean, you can do a bunch of stuff. You can add boost to allies. You can notice important stuff that's happening.
Are they trying? Can I use that to try and see if they're trying to jump?
It doesn't seem like they're trying to power up the hyperdrive, no. And especially you're smart, Thorian. You realize that trying to jump inside a planetary ring would be very bad.
I mean, well, clearly, I still want to know.
They do not appear to be trying to power up the hyperdrive. I will say that. That will be 3 advantage, because that's quite a hard thing to notice. So you have 2 advantage remaining.
Okay, let's just add that to the bonuses to the next party members.
Okay, cool. So the next player character gets a boost. Okay, the final NPC on board the ship is going to attempt to repair the shields.
Despair.
So, I mean, they're not very... I mean, if you want, you guys can flip a destiny point to upgrade the difficulty of their check. If you want.
It would probably just make their ship explode, though.
Not necessarily. It might just cause a major collision.
Let's do it.
Technically a minor collision. Oh yeah, you want to do it? You want to spend a destiny point to upgrade that check?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We're going for that despair. After you got all the despairs for us and all the triumphs for them last time.
No, they fail. So they failed. The shields are still down. They fail. And unfortunately, no despair, I'm afraid. Okay, round 3, player character.
Somebody else can take the boost if you want.
The effects of Walden's incredible speech has dissipated.
Oh, man.
Incredible speech.
Yes.
So, Vernon, you want us to go first and maybe target more stuff? Engines, maybe?
I mean, sure. Doesn't seem to be much else we can do since we can't talk to him. Unless we want to give Thar another turn right off the bat to try again.
I'm down. I'll phrase it in a way that actually gives me a negotiation check, Bob.
Okay, yeah, so you have to not threaten them with death. That's not a valid bargaining tool for negotiation.
Bring the thing back here as well. Bring the comm back to the
I'm gonna
pilot seat.
take a bit of a run back to the cockpit and kind of tap the pilot on the shoulder and start my amazing. Listen, we've been hunting you for a decent amount of time. We know that you're not an especially violent crew. You have no serious injuries. All you are is a bunch of people trying to ransom, and we like that. And what we're offering is a partnership, and hopefully you will accept our partnership because maybe we can help each other out.
Do we hear that?
I'm gonna assume that they
Clever
might.
does, but does Buzz? Are you on the intercom right now with this?
Hold on. So let's just do that check because yeah, right, Bob.
Yeah, so make your negotiation check. So it's average difficulty.
Oh well, life is hard.
Yeah, so once again, you fail to convince them. They're like,
These
the hell
guys
would
are
we group-
not smart.
why the hell would we group up with you?
All right, I'm gonna shoot him.
Just kill them.
Okay. So we're gonna. You have one advantage. What would you? You're just going to pass a boost to the next player, I suppose. You distract them for a little bit, at the very least. So, Vernon, are you going to take a shot?
You want to pass the boost?
Yeah, sure. We'll just
I should note your strain threshold is getting quite high because again, you have to take 2 maneuvers to get back to the cockpit. But
yeah.
Okay,
Out of
so that looks.
curiosity, just because I have a specialization to remove involuntary strain, would that count or does that not? I'm not asking like for to adjust it in the past. I just want to know in the future if I take
No,
strain
because
like that.
No, because that's voluntary. If you're taking an additional maneuver, that's voluntary strain. Involuntary strain is when you take it from threat or when you take it due to the environment.
Okay.
Or otherwise that kind of interaction. I'm going to upgrade this gunnery check, actually. So let's make it that. Off you go, Vernon.
Did you just destiny point us?
Yes, I did just destiny point you. And unfortunately, you miss again.
I don't like asteroids.
Yeah, you just blast another asteroid with 3 advantage. You can do something pretty cool.
It's not even in front of us.
It said fire at the glowing green thing.
So, what do you want with those advantages? Inertial? Are you here?
I'm reading.
Okay.
How dare you?
So there's obviously multiple options here.
Yeah, I'm taking too much time. I'm just going to pass on an advantage and reduce a couple strain.
Okay, so you're going to pass a boost on to the next player. Okay, so who wants to go next?
I will.
So yeah, think about what kind of things you want to do with advantage before you get them, because you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least some most of the time.
Yeah. So what I want to do is run to a computer and try to slice their systems to turn off their engines.
Okay.
Rather than shooting.
So that's going to be a hard computers check. So you'll take a maneuver to get to your shipboard computers. You have a boost from Vernon, which I've put in already.
Yep.
And that's 3 difficulty.
You have 5 there total?
Oh, my bad.
I should note that their comms are down, so I'm actually going to add a setback to your computers check.
Oh, because we can't.
Because you can't.
Their Wi-Fi's down. I can't break into their system.
Yeah, so I'm going to add a setback. It's a little hard to communicate with something when the comms are down. You have to kind of brute force your way in.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
Sudo uninstall engines.
All right, you were really bad at the start, so I'm going to try.
Oh dear, that's a lot of failure. 1 success, though, but 3 threat. Okay. So you successfully slice their systems. Unfortunately...
I download a lot of viruses to our ship and
Well...
Remembering Unix command line, the terminal commands gives you a headache.
So the problem is that their shields were already down, and all that the 1 success does is reduce their defense. I will allow it to inflict a system strain instead, because otherwise it's useless. So you inflict 1 system strain. You do not disable the engines because you didn't get a triumph.
I was really bad at this too, Thar.
I know.
And with 3 threat, now I've got to break out the book and have a laugh at what fun things I can do to you guys with 3 threat.
I think for the sake of the show, Bob, you should probably just go with whatever comes to mind first, and whatever easy, simple thing that is.
You crashed the ship into their ship.
I was going to consider a minor collision, yes.
You accidentally took control of some of their maneuvering thrusters.
Yeah, so I'm going to say you basically... Yeah, you decrease the difficulty. So you basically accidentally take control of the... you take control of the engines of the Avedon Hale, trying to disable the engines of the of the other ship, and you just kind of drift the ship round to the guns on the other side.
What are you doing? Their guns were going to come back on anyways. It was a good idea.
Whoa.
So they are now going to take a shot at you with their nicely operational cannon, which, yeah, the other cannon's operational as well, but you drift around to the other side where you haven't dealt much damage to their ship. And the first NPC is going to take, who's still in the gunnery position, is going to take a shot. Let's see what their gunnery skill is. Oh yes, they have an upgrade to their gunnery because of the special systems on board the ship. It's average. They are going to aim with a maneuver, and there's 1 setback because of the terrain in your shielding. Okay. Oof. The Avedon Hale takes a slamming hit for 11 damage.
Thanks!
-3. I don't think that's going to be a shield hit because our port and starboard do not have any shield. So
in this case, you only have fore and aft. Fore and aft is like a hemisphere on a Silhouette 4 ship. So the shield is counted as part of the setback. It doesn't reduce damage. It just adds setback. So yeah, so you take 11 minus 3, so 8 points of hull trauma. So they slams into the ship. However, they also had 2 threat on their attack. So what would you like the 2 threat to do? They can suffer some more system strain, for example.
Yeah, let's see here.
For reference, the threat table, which is all, again, just examples.
What page is that on?
Page 236 of the core rulebook. So things like you can force them to slow down if they were piloting, but they're not actually.
No.
They suffer 1 system strain. They can add a setback to their next action.
So an opponent may immediately perform 1 free maneuver in response to the active character's check.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and fly myself back to the other side again.
Okay. So basically, whoops, not that one. You fly the Avedon. The Avedon Hale swerves around out of the range of the blaster fire of the powered cannon and onto the side of the other powered cannon because it has come back online. But it hasn't fired yet, so now it can fire at you guys.
Levered. Waldern.
So the other guy's going to do the same thing. Not challenge. Unless you guys want to upgrade their check, they're going to aim. It's going to be an average difficulty. The setback because of the terrain.
Destiny point.
Yeah. Okay.
I've made mistakes.
Okay. 2 success, so they only dealt 8 damage and had 1 threat this time.
So that's 5.
Yep,
13.
5 system strain.
Goodness gracious.
Hull trauma, sorry. So you're now at 13 out of 22. So as you can see, ship combat is, once it gets going, is about as deadly as ground combat. What would you like the 1 threat to do? Deal some system strain to them, maybe, or?
Yeah, we'll just go with system strain at this point.
Thanks,
Okay.
Lev.
The final NPC in this block of NPCs is going to attempt to reduce some of that system strain, which is still easy. They probably won't do a very good job. They didn't do a very good job. They had 2 advantage, though, so they're going to pass a boost to the next guy. Who wants to go next? Or, in other words, who has to go next, which I believe is Thar again, I think.
I think it's me. I haven't done
it's
it.
Walden. It's Walden this round.
Yeah. So, let's see. I could make another negotiation check here. I could actually go and negotiate again.
Okay.
I could say, clearly you guys are not doing so great without your captain. I would really think...
We let you get those hits.
I really want you
crew.
guys. I really want you guys to be the best crew you can be, and I think it's with your captain. So let's make a trade, and we can give you your captain back. You can be the best crew you will ever be, and we can figure out something to negotiate with.
So you're insulting them and trying to take away this guy's promotion.
No. Let it happen. No. Let it happen.
I talked with the captain in the back, and he says you guys are doing great, but you just need a little bit more time training behind.
So after that attack on the Abaddon Hale, the captain's feeling pretty cool. So he's going to the current captain of the Fereallis, the acting captain, I suppose, is feeling pretty cool. So they're going to oppose your negotiation with their cool. I don't believe, was there any boost passed along? I believe there was 1 boost passed along.
Yeah, there was.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. So yeah, let's see if you can
infer a strain to reduce that difficulty down 1.
Ooh. So yeah, write it down on your character sheet.
Yep.
And you'll reduce the difficulty by what? So tell me exactly what that what the talent says. Does it say reduce?
Sure. I got you. Let me hop over there real quick. Congenial may suffer a number strain, which is 1 because it's the specific amount of congenial, ranks of congenial. Difficulty of charm or negotiation checks or upgrade difficulty, equal number of strain suffered cannot exceed ranks of congenial. I have 1 rank of congenial, so it's 1 difficulty check. I think that would mean that would take from a challenge to a difficulty, or would it be from...
So does it say downgrade or reduce?
It says downgrade. It says downgrade.
So yeah, okay, yeah. So then it goes from a challenge to a difficulty. So there you go. So now it's only 1 in 12 chance of despair instead of a 1 in 6, which is a pretty big deal. Oh, double triumph! Oh, incredible.
Okay.
Somehow that rather wavering...
He may have felt confident in those shots, but he does not feel confident in his leadership.
Okay, I mean, 2 triumph. Man.
They just hand the ship over quietly?
And walk through space home.
You see their weapons power down.
Could I give one of those triumphs? We actually managed to get in contact with a security officer.
You want to say there's law enforcement just happens to be flying by at this moment?
Yeah.
Sure, that's a classic.
Oh my god, why?
Yep. So there happens to be a patrol transport passing by. It looks like a kind of boxy cruiser of some kind, with a few cannons sticking out of it. Passes by and finally picks up your distress signals and has come into comms range and says, Abaddon Hale, what kind of problem are you having? You say you're in some combat?
Yes, I'm currently in some combat right now with a ship that we're trying to collect a bounty on, and we'd like some minor assistance here. We currently have it inside the asteroid belt. I don't know if it would be wise for you to bring it in here, but we could maybe try and talk him out of the asteroid.
Very well. We'll stick outside on the edge of the rings and keep our scanners open for any escape attempt.
At minimum, we actually have the current captain on board our ship. So if the Fereallis attempts to make an escape, I would advise to just try to take it out, and we can ferry the captain over for our collection.
Excellent. Well, you'll have to come down to the starport with us to the IOCI office, and we can sort out your your reward for that bounty, but for now we'll just stick out here and keep our eyes peeled.
Thank you very much for the assistance.
So, that's one triumph. What do you want the other triumph to do?
So I want the other triumph to make them, specifically the gunner that's on our side, he will hear the comm specifically as well, because I'm guessing they all have comm links. He'll run back to the captain of the ship and also try to plead my...
Okay. So I'm going to say, basically, yeah, that gun goes silent, and the Fereallis engines turn off. And you hear the captain say on his side, oh, very well. Dock on the port side. And we'll see you at the airlock.
Okay. Right after he docks, I'm going to say I've currently docked with the Fereallis. You can come on in. I'm going to talk to the Imperial Patrol and say they have turned their engines off. I have now the captain and the Fereallis.
Very well. We're not very interested in entering the planetary ring, so if you could just bring the ship outside, that would be excellent. Thank you.
Sounds good.
So, you've docked back again with the Fereallis in slightly less fractious circumstances. You also had one advantage on that roll, so you can use that.
Go ahead and reduce the strain that I incurred.
Okay. And now this is because combat is over, everybody can roll either discipline or cool and recover strain on their character. And that's a simple discipline or cool check. And you can all take a breather.
Okay. Can I also repair some of our hull trauma?
Not right now, no.
No.
You got 5
That has to be
advantages.
in a hangar for...
So 5 advantage does nothing, I'm afraid. Each success reduces strain by 1. So that's
1
2
advantage
strain.
for me. I got 1 advantage, so yeah, nothing.
And let's see. Oh wow! So that's 3 strain from Vernon, which is really good. So both Vernon and Vers are at their minimal strain, because don't forget we're still technically have Walden's obligation going. Thar is still rather stressed out,
and I am as well,
and injured. Okay, so you've docked with the Fereallis again, and you can see if you walk, and you hear clomping in the corridor up to the airlock. What do you guys do?
Are we shooting them?
No, we're not going to shoot them.
To the airlock. I take it has a window, right?
Yeah.
Do they have guns in their hands?
They have them stowed.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to activate comms again, and I'm going to just give them a, would you so kindly take us out of the asteroid belt? It's getting really difficult to fly in here. I don't want my ship injured anymore, and I know you guys...
Well, currently there isn't anyone manning the Fereallis controls. There, most of the crew are at the airlock. Oops. There we go.
I'm going to use the comm that I had grabbed from their ally and say, as a gesture of good faith, would you please drop your weapons?
And we will drop ours, and we'll show that we're dropped ours.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that means and Walden are here. So they empty. Yeah, they take their their heavy blaster pistols and drop them on the floor next to them, and hold their hands up. And the acting captain, who's Twi'lek, says, "Yes, here we are, ready to negotiate or parley or whatever."
Okay, I'm gonna say stay here for a second, and I'm gonna motion for Vuz to come. I need your help.
Okay.
And we're gonna go and get their captain, and kind of lift him up and bring him out.
So you drag the captain into the airlock region. What are you doing with the guy who's conscious, by the way? Anything with him, or
can I? I'm just gonna let him know he can. I'm gonna open the door for him and say, "Follow me, please."
Okay. So yeah, he follows you. I mean, he's bound. He doesn't really. He'd rather live than be shot in the back or something. So the captain is still unconscious. Do you want to bring him round?
I slap him with my tail to wake him up. Morning.
I mean, yeah.
No, you don't.
I already did it. It's done.
God.
That doesn't actually work. Slapping him with the tail
I just
doesn't work.
slapped
He
him in
needs
the face.
medical attention. He
Oh.
needs
I'm
medical
gonna
attention.
give him a bit of medical attention to bring him around.
Yeah, so could you make an easy medicine check? He didn't take any wounds, really, when you guys were shooting at him, but he did go over his strain threshold.
Sure. 1 second.
He just got a giant welt on his face from my tip.
Is there a setback or anything that I need to add here?
No, I mean, you've got your medical equipment. Do you have a med pack now?
No, that's why I'm
Okay,
asking.
then yeah, you have a setback. It's just easy difficulty with a setback. Easy, not challenge, unless you
Oh
really
god, wait a minute.
want...
I was playing.
And with 2 advantage, you recover 2 of his strain, and that's enough to bring him round, if I remember correctly. So the captain comes around, looks up, and says, "Oh god, what am I doing here still?"
I'm gonna kind of set him down on his knees and walk up to the acting captain and say, "We'll help you get out of this. We'll give you back your captain. All we want is your targeting computer."
Oh no, we want the hyperdrive too.
Okay, I'm gonna assume you said that out loud, Slav.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you want those pieces of equipment, you're gonna have to take us to a hangar so we can actually get some mechanics on the job.
Yeah, sure. Let's head out of the asteroid belt. We can ferry with while docked, right? Or is that something that we need to undock?
Yeah, you guys could basically, so you can pilot the ship pretty much any way you like. Whilst they're docked together, it's just going to basically increase the silhouette, so it'll be harder to move through the planetary rings. I'll only require 1 check, but it will be a pretty difficult check to move both ships simultaneously through the rings.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, so Walden returns back to the cockpit.
I want to before it continues. I want to say, and just because I know we're all on edge, let's take our weapons and just lock them away. And in exchange, I can make sure everyone here is in tip-top condition. I can get you some medicine if you need it. I'm sure you guys sit out here in the rim and you might be sick. Let's just keep it cool.
The acting captain looks at you and says, "Nah, I don't think I'm very interested in that. We're all doing fine, thanks."
Just gonna give him a nod.
I'll ask one of them to pilot in the other ship so they can give me an assist.
I was going to say I'm going to give you an assist.
Okay, that'll work too.
Okay, so that's a boost from Vernon. And then your piloting ability.
That is 3 ability and then 1 boost, yeah.
Okay, and then the difficulty is how fast are you just going to go
We're
through
just
the
going to go
slowest
as
speed?
slow as possible, yeah. We're just
Okay, so speed 1, and then because you're effectively together a Silhouette 5 ship, that's going to be easy upgraded 3 times. So that's going to be easy. So it's going to be... Whoops.
should
2
be
challenge and a difficulty, like that.
Okay.
Oh no. The ship just blows up.
You could sustain a collision, yeah, moving through the... Oh, 3
we
success, 1
don't.
advantage. Walden's piloting... I'd like you to
Just
describe
like
how you
God.
pilot this ungainly mess through the
Sure.
belts.
So, I was trained by somebody that flew a very large freighter before, much larger than this ship that we're actually hauling as well. And he taught me that when you're going through asteroid belts, generally it's better to kind of just roll a little bit, just keep a little roll going. That way, if you need to speed the roll up a little bit further to get past some asteroids, you can. You also make sure that the sensor is, you power it up, but you keep it close. So you're not actually sensing out in further range, you're sensing closer but more accurate. So we keep the sensors there, and I just kind of lazily kind of just rotate my ship and their ship through the asteroid belt outside, right next to the patrol that we were at before.
Okay, you drop out. You drop out of the belt into clear space. The Guardian class frigate, light cruiser there, very blocky ship, about as big as the Fereallis, is just waiting with its bristling laser cannons. The captain of the ship contacts you and says, well done, we'll escort you down to the surface. And then You hear some scuff, and then Thar, as you're looking through the airlock window, you hear some scuffling. One of the other pirate crew runs down the corridor and says, "Captain! Captain, it's a trap!"
Oh,
And the acting captain looks at the airlock, looks at you, Thar, and says, "You double-crossing Ithorian scum!" and picks up his blaster pistol. And that's where we're going to leave it for the first break.
Sleaford, you're retarded.
No. They're already a severely damaged ship, or at least mildly damaged. With this ship and our ship attacking.
All right, so we're gonna be about let's say 10 minutes, and then we'll come back for the conclusion of the Fereallis Chronicles or the conclusion of the Abaddon Hail. We'll see what happens, but that'll be 10 minutes. I'll set the timer, and see you guys soon.
moron.
That's your... Okay. Right as we go back.
Seriously.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. We're back. All right. So what's happening?
So anyway, they've picked up their blasters. So could we roll for initiative again, please, guys? Because they're going to try and come through this door, and it's going to be up to you to see if you can stop them.
What will this be for us?
Nothing.
Again, simple vigilance because you're
Vigilance?
surprised.
Okay.
So we have a 1 advantage roll, which is a great start. Oh, that's much better.
3 success. 1 advantage. It's your boy. Was poor, apparently.
Yep, who's very, very fast at... He's quick on the draw. I guess because he's slightly anxious all the time or something.
I don't know if he's socially aware enough to be anxious.
Okay, so...
That's me rolling.
Yep. And that's 3 advantage.
Yeah,
Okay.
you fucking moron.
Listen, we all know who the real moron is. Sleverd.
Hey now!
Sleverd!
I'm not sure if Inertial's away. His microphone's muted in Discord. So Inertial, if you are here, we could use the initiative roll. If you're not, we shall wait with bated breath. Just imagine it's the scene in Phantom Menace where Qui-Gon's slowly cutting through the bulkhead with his lightsaber.
Or we could roll for him.
Yeah, we can do that, speed things along a little bit. So his willpower is 2, so that's 1 yellow, 1 green. Yep.
He gets nothing.
3 advantage.
I've let him down.
Well, can blame you for it. And they are going to roll their cool because, well... Actually, no, this is going to be vigilance as well because they weren't really planning to fight. They just suddenly got surprised by appearing next to law enforcement. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. They're rolling very well, by the way.
I know
Oh.
this is not good.
Thankfully, there's one because of us. There's one player character going first, but otherwise, it's all NPCs. All 4 NPCs are going to go next. Okay, so we have player character, then 4 NPCs, then 3 player characters, and currently, so Vernon and Walden are in the cockpit. Vuz and this is the best part. Vuz and Thar are in the airlock region with the captain and a captured pirate who are conscious. They're bound, but they're only bound on their hands, and they're conscious.
Thank God we woke him up. We woke him up. And, don't forget, we put our fucking weapons away like idiots.
Maybe you did.
As a sign of good faith.
Stowed him. He didn't do anything
I like
else.
how Corey's gonna try and blame me for this, but somehow we're just gonna ignore the fact that Sleverd drove us out there because he failed to do basic math from the previous week before.
Yeah.
There were 8 fucking people, and no, Corey, eat it.
Counting is not a Clatuinian's best attribute.
Sleverd, no.
Sleverd, what's your counting
Don't play
rank?
too hard.
The same as my vigilance.
Anyway, we'll wait for our pal. Unless somebody want to go first, and then I'll wait for Inertial to get back before we.
So
he's unmuted.
How many of the crew
Hey,
members
what?
started running back?
So there was one guy showed up in the corridor. One additional guy showed up in the corridor saying, "Hey, he's not part of this combat. He's dealing with the Fereallis itself because it's slightly on fire."
Mhm.
But there's 4 guys here, and then obviously there's the captain and the additional pirate. I should actually roll for them because technically they can act.
Before we do our thing, if me or Thar like comms up to Vernon and Waldern, would we have to take that slot for it, or is that a free action? Just to say that we're getting shot at now.
I'd allow that to be incidental.
Oh, we're getting shot at now. Should I be surprised?
Potentially surprised. It's a 3 success. Oh boy, these NPCs rolled really, really well. Oh god, you guys.
Waldern, Vernon, they're picking up their guns.
Disconnect from the fucking ship! Shoot them!
Close the blast doors. Close the blast doors.
So on a serious note, who wishes to go actually first?
I will.
Action?
You don't want to disconnect from the ship?
No, we're letting the pilot go first.
We can close the door, Kalo.
The door is closed. The door's closed.
We
never opened that shit.
We were talking through it, so I figured it was open.
We were using the comms.
Okay, never mind.
Don't worry. So let's reiterate. Let's
We're
describe
moving.
the situation in detail for everybody at home. So, Walden and Vernon are in the cockpit. They're just looking out at the law enforcement ship, and suddenly they've been told, by the way, they've drawn their guns. They've noticed. Thar is standing there with only, presumably, his bare hands, which are good enough weapons for him. And Vuz is standing there, unarmed, naked.
I didn't drop my gloves, thank you.
Okay. Gloves. Vuz is standing there, unarmed, naked. There is the captain in the same airlock area as Vuz and Thar, engaged with them, presumably, wearing binders, who is conscious. There is a pirate who is conscious and also wearing binders. And there are 4 pirates on the other side of the airlock with their pistols drawn, looking for a way to get through. Okay, so now we have that sorted out.
Slevard, your turn.
What would Slevard like to do? As the one player character who gets to go before the NPCs.
Sliver, get us out of here, Chewie!
Okay, first I'm gonna calm the patrol ship. I'm gonna let them know that they picked you up on their sensors, and we're about to get into a fight. We'd appreciate some assistance here. We are the YT 1300, marked Avedon Hale, and they are the TL 1200.
Yes.
Yeah. So we just want to make sure that you're not shooting us and you're shooting them. Yep, so I'm just going to let them know that, close comms, or make sure they acknowledge it.
They say, very well, we'll attempt to dock on the other side of the Fereallis and board them. We have our troopers standing by.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's what they're going to try and do.
Sounds good. How long do you think that'll take?
We anticipate it's going to take us a number of minutes to get into position and dock with them. So about a round, basically.
If I attempt to pilot both of our ships closer, could I reduce that time?
I mean, you can't reduce it to 0 rounds.
No.
But you can have it happen at the start of next round instead of, say, at the end of next round.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Destiny
so
point.
because you're trying to do something that I would describe as a difficult piloting maneuver, that's going to require yet another piloting check, I think.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, again, are you going to try and go really slowly?
Well, depending on how close we came out to them, and it's only going to take them around.
You said you wanted to be right next to them, so I'm going to say you're in close range. So you're maneuvering within close range, so you can go at speed 1. So you take a piloting maneuver to accelerate both ships to speed 1, and then it's going to be speed 1, and then it's going to be upgraded twice, 3 times, sorry. So it's going to be a difficulty which goes to a challenge, which goes to a difficulty, which goes to a challenge, which goes to a difficulty. There we go.
What is that addition for? We're not in the asteroid belt anymore, right?
So there's a difficulty because you're trying to maneuver them to dock with another ship.
Gotcha.
And you don't want to collide with the other ship, right?
The large, yes, I completely agree with that.
Levered.
And while you are in open space, you're still near the planetary rings. Like it's not an easy maneuver to do. So let's have.
I'm gonna use a destiny point here.
Okay. Despair.
Anybody want to boost me?
Despair.
Co-pilot.
Get nothing.
I mean, I thought we were actually in combat.
No, that's a standard maneuver, so you wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
Oh,
Look at this.
Aw.
Look at this.
I'm very sad.
Use that one to boost the next person.
Okay, so you basically begin to move the Fereallis and the docked. So the docked Fereallis and the Avedon Hail, you strain the Avedon Hail's engines and push you both towards the cruiser that's nearby, and basically start lining it up with the cruiser's docking bay. You hear over the comms, thank you, Avedon Hail, that'll make things a lot quicker. Troopers, to your stations. Okay. And now it's time for literally all the NPCs to go.
Guys,
So the
what
first
did you roll?
Badly. Advantages. Just advantages. Nothing else. All the NPCs rolled successes. One PC rolled three success, which was Vuz. So anyway, the captain is going to try and make an athletics check to break free of his binders.
5, right?
It's hard. I don't think it's 5. I think it's 3 or 4. I can double check though. Like they're not the best binders. They're the cheapo binders.
Yeah.
No, you sold them to me for 25, correct?
Yeah, that's the cheapo binders. Yeah, so 4 difficulty to escape. Athletics or coordination. Does he have any coordination? No. But so it doesn't really matter. So he's going to try and escape his binders, and he says, and he shouts at his crewmate, "Hey, help me out of these!" So his crewmate's going to give him a boost by attempting to because his hands are bound, right? But he can try and help by kind of pushing at the binders and stuff. So that's going to be athletics because he has no. Does he have no ranks in athletics? That's sad. A boost from his ally who's helping, who also has no ranks in athletics. Boo. And then it's going to be 4 difficulty.
Oh no.
Okay. And it's a wash.
Oh.
He's still locked in, and so he takes his maneuver. He runs off towards the cockpit, and the pirate who was helping him he took a maneuver to assist. He's going to take his action to also try and escape. So they kind of went out of order here, but I'm doing it to make it more cinematic and a little quicker.
Is that too strained because that's a standard maneuver, right?
No, so basically, the captain took an action.
Oh, okay.
So
it's an action.
really,
okay,
what
gotcha.
really happened was the pirate who was there assisted him and passed a boost as his maneuver, and the pirate's action is to try and escape.
Gotcha.
Pass a boost.
So it's one.
The captain
gotcha.
took the boost. I just had the captain escape first for dramatic effect.
Awesome.
Or attempt to. And he actually rips the binders apart. He takes 3 strain in the process because it was really tense. He's like, rips them apart. And and that guy is now hands-free. That pirate is now hands-free. He takes a maneuver to run past into the cargo hold. He's going to run past after his captain to try and help his captain get out of the binders. So that guy is now hands-free. But yeah, his 3 threat means he took quite a bad injury from getting out the binders. Then there's the 4 NPCs on the other side of the door. I'm going to flip a destiny point. One of the NPCs grabs a cutting torch from the side for boarding purposes, and is going to make an average mechanics check to try and get through the door. Whoops. They're not very good at mechanics, so one of the other NPCs, is going to assist, and they're going to try and cut through the door with this cutter. And so far they failed with 2 advantage, so they pass a boost along, and another NPC is going to just try and do the same thing.
Just grabs it from him?
Yeah, just grabs it from him, and he's just going to try and do the same thing. Still an average check. There's a boost passed along. He's just going to try it again. They're going to cut through this door eventually, and there it is. He takes a wound. He gets slightly burned by the but the door has been cut open. And now it's 3 player characters' turn. The door's been cut open. You're now docked so you're docked, and the docking door has been cut open. So what do 3 player characters in a row want to do?
Kayla,
wonder
you wanna
why
go first?
Slevert is so dunce-worthy. Holy shit!
We're good right now. We're still good.
Well, to be fair, you're the one who brought the captain round.
No. We
you were
had
all
this.
there.
We had really good loot and the promise of sweet wages. But the first thing Sliver does is ruin it all. All right, I'm just fuck. I'm
Get
just
to
gonna
work,
scream
son.
at him,
Get to work.
Our party had 4 different goals with this.
and I'm gonna add a destiny point for that.
What are you doing?
Okay, so what?
How much strain did that previous he probably still has strain from the previous encounter, right? The other weak boy that
the
broke
guy
his
who
binders.
Yeah. So he already had. So yeah, he's looking pretty stressed. Actually, he looks like as far as you can tell on the ship's internal. I don't know if you have internal security. Actually, you don't have internal security.
No, we don't.
But he's Vuz and Thar. When he ran past, he looked pretty stressed after breaking those binders. Like he's got veins bulging and stuff. So what are you trying to do here, Kalo?
Just use the racial bellow on them.
Oh, you're going to bellow at them? Okay.
Mm.
So that's the usual easy range light check because they're within short range.
That's a resilience check.
Sorry, resilience. Duh. My bad.
It's all good. Is easy 1 dice or none? I'm not 100%.
1.
Okay.
Simple is none.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Damn.
1 success. So you deal, I believe. How much damage again?
It's 6 and then 1 for every success, correct?
I don't know if is it 6 or.
I'll check the sheet again.
Something I should know by now.
Damage 6.
You suffer
3, concussive 1.
Yeah, you suffer 3 strain, but yeah, it's 6 damage. And yeah. Okay, 3 strain for using it. Good. And yeah, so you deal 7. You don't activate the blast, so you just hit the one in front who's just coming through the door. He's holding a cutting torch and coming through the door, and you deal another 6 strain.
6
So 7 strain. So yeah, that guy covers this. Is like ah.
And I'm gonna use whatever maneuvers I have to get to hightail it on out of here.
So 1 maneuver presumably, unless you wish to take another 2 strain.
I'll knock myself out. Let's just use 1.
Okay. So you take an additional maneuver. You take your maneuver. Where do you want to go? So you can go after the captain and the pirate.
I don't want to die.
The cargo hold. You head to the cargo hold then.
I'll head over here.
There are other doors in our place that you can lock, right?
Yeah, there's the door to the cockpit. There's the door to there's all the doors to the bunks, and there's the doors to the engine room and stuff like that can be locked. The door to the cargo hold. You can lock all of those from the cockpit when it's your turn. So who wants to go next out of Vernon? Buzz?
I'm just gonna run into wherever I can reach and hide somewhere.
Okay, you're going to take 2 maneuvers and hide. Excellent.
Holy crap.
The smart one.
What
is
Vernon going to do?
Ventus.
Party
Ventus.
wipe.
There's gonna be Imperials jumping out of the other ship and doing stuff.
Eventually.
I say we.
As a co-pilot, he can actually make pilot maneuvers, right? Or
yeah, he can do piloting if he wants. Yeah.
What good's that gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know what piloting you'd want to do, but
Just break off of the airlock. Let's see
yeah,
what
you can
happens.
technically undock.
The
right?
airlock that has been cut open?
Absolutely.
it's just not venting atmosphere.
just put an end to it.
Lock the door behind us. Lock all the doors internally. Well, Thar's gonna feel it.
Just do
Because he
it.
didn't-
Get rid of me.
He didn't run into a place that actually has a door.
My man did not tell me the limits of where I could and could not go.
You can go anywhere on the map. Within reason. Within 1 maneuver, you can go about this kind of distance, right?
Yeah, I couldn't reach a door, could I?
Right there.
You could hide into the galley. I think that's the galley there. This small bit here, but I don't know.
Oh,
I think you could hide in the galley.
do you want to hide in the galley and lock the door?
Sure.
Okay,
Why
we're going
not?
to
Destiny point?
I'm going to
We're
be
gonna
very, very
reward
kind. Yeah,
time.
please flip a destiny point to say that he's now in the galley.
We're gonna rewind time. All right, cool.
Prince of Persia. I mean, Star Wars.
Now I'm going to have to look at the rules for vacuum.
Oh, great. So yeah, lock all the doors and see if I can undock.
Okay, so if you could make an average piloting check. Just average difficulty, this will be.
Roll the last destiny point. You don't want to mess it up. That way we can really die.
That seems too simple. Are we doing it right?
Well,
That's because you're
it.
just undocking. It's an average thing to do.
All right.
Let me
Yeah.
just-
Hey, I succeeded in killing us all.
So the ship takes 1 system strain because it's not really very happy about doing this right now. And effectively, the ship now takes the losing atmosphere crit because
Oh my god! We all
because
died.
you now have a hole, right? So you now have basically a major hull breach. For ships of silhouette 4 and smaller, the entire ship depressurizes in a number of rounds equal to the ship's silhouette. Ships and vehicles silhouette 5 and larger tend to be highly compartmentalized and have many safeguards against depressurization.
Really?
Wait,
It's
were you
ship's
lying
5.
about
Are
the
you
doors
kidding?
now?
So the doors aren't completely
Sealed.
I mean,
they're not sealed.
sealed.
Yeah, we're all dead. Rest in peace.
You got 4 rounds.
Yep.
You got 4 rounds for Vuz to find a way to fix the problem.
Well, here's the thing: the captain. I know the captain is one strain away from going down. The pirate is, or the weak way is exceptionally strained, and all of the people in the other ship are also going to take this as well.
Well, I mean, they still have a door on their end. Their door was
Did
open.
they-
It's open!
Wait,
Yeah, but they
it's
can
open.
close it. Yeah, but they can close
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
they get like sucked out
pressurization.
immediately?
They won't get sucked out immediately, no.
Okay. Okay.
Because Star Wars ships have internal gravity, which holds you in place,
Gotcha.
right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
You don't just get
Gravity
sucked out of the
plate
ship very
looking-
easily. Unless the internal gravity has been turned off, you're not going to just get sucked out of a ship in Star Wars. No, instead what happens is, you can't see this, but all the pirates put breath masks on, because they all have breath masks. The captain and the other pirate also... Well, the pirate puts breath masks on. Puts a breath mask on.
Yes.
Breast mask, yes. And yeah, so they're fine. And the guy hits the button to close the door on the Fereallis. So, and now we're back around. So who wants to go in
Me.
round 2 first?
Did we take all the gear off of like the captain and the weak
Yeah,
way?
there was significant amounts of looting
I
there.
don't think they had a breath mask before.
I mean-
yeah, we did loot them, but I don't remember.
I believe you just said you wanted their weapons, so you
Sure.
took their weapons. They have no weapons, but they still had breath masks.
They
Okay.
have hands.
They also have hands, yes.
We're
All
probably
right,
about to catch up. Soon.
I'm gonna run back to the door
Uh-huh.
and I'm
As
gonna
the ship
try.
is starting to depressurize, yes.
I'm gonna try to fix this in some way if I can, maybe.
Okay. So,
It's
It's okay, it's
hold
okay.
on. I have redundant systems. Once per session, may take a redundant systems action, make an easy mechanics checks to harvest components from a functioning device, repair a broken one without breaking the first device. So is there stuff that I can use that for to do this?
sure, you can just rip a piece off the side of the ship and try and repair the door and try and lock the.
So
close
I
the
basically
airlock.
do what they did. I just grab a piece of metal from somewhere, slap it on the
Well,
hole, and
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, easy mechanics check. Take 2 strain because you had to take 2 maneuvers to run back there to do it.
okay.
But otherwise, it's an easy mechanics check.
Fuzz
it's a
taking
good-
strain that's just a regular
Uh-huh.
moment for him.
It's okay. The ship isn't vacuum for 4 rounds. That's plenty of time.
Easy, you said?
Yep, just easy. That's what the talent says, so it's easy.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were going with that because this is a really dumb thing
This is
No.
stupid.
This is exactly it's Star Wars. It's very Star Wars, you've got to admit. To just
That's
rip
fair.
a piece off the side of the ship and just cram it into the doorway and it just slides shut or something, or like a blast door comes down that you didn't realize existed. Anything like that is very Star Wars to happen. 3 success, 1 advantage. The door slides, like crams itself shut, like the bits being cut out gets smushed against the side, but somehow creates a valid seal.
Guys, I fixed it! Ish! This is bad.
Okay, do we hear that shit?
I mean, yeah.
Well, you have
sure.
I don't know if you hear it. Everyone else has a fucking comm link. I think Sleverd bought you one.
I have a comm link,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, so you now know that it's fixed.
For my advantage, is there any way that our ship venting atmosphere, these guys being in enemy territory with just us now and their buddies floating off, there's Imperials around, can I apply a strain to one of them with that instead of recovering one for myself?
He falls unconscious.
They're so annoyed by your voice that they incur a strain.
I can say that the captain won't take a strain, but the one who's free is going to take a strain. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable thing to do. They're demoralized. They're definitely demoralized. Okay, so now it's time for the NPCs. So the pilot, basically the pilot of the Fereallis is going to just try and dock back up. By the way, because why wouldn't? I mean, actually, let me think.
Didn't you say at the start of the round that we would like that whole check Sleverd made to get?
Oh yeah. Apologies. On the other side of the Fereallis, a hulking transport somewhat bigger than the Fereallis clamps onto it, and over the comm, well done, you hear, Avedon Hale, this is Imperial Customs Patrol. We have our troopers boarding the Fereallis now.
Yes, it came in just a touch too late. We had to undock. We were dealing with quite a large number of crew members on our side. You should be able to basically just get the complete drop on them.
Excellent. I'll let my troopers know. And Vaz, as you're looking out the window, as you're slowly drifting away from the Fereallis, you see just through the window, you see all of the pirates on the inside turn around and start running the other way.
Guys, it looks like the Empire's doing stuff. Are we going to tell them we're not really bounty hunters yet?
Not yet.
So that's those 4 NPCs. However, there's still the captain and the pirate. The pirate looks down the corridor at Vaz.
The pirate made the first move to break the chains, right? I think it's the second gunner, right, or the other guy that's in the.
No, we're in round 2 now.
Oh, this is round 2. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So this guy takes a maneuver, and he's going to just grapple Vaz. He's just going to try and grab Vaz as a hostage.
Cuddly.
Oh my!
No.
So what is your brawl rating?
My brawl rating, I have 2 greens.
Okay, so he's going to make an average brawl check to try and grab you as a hostage. And he succeeds with 1 threat. He takes another strain. You're a bit wriggly, but you are now grabbed. You hear...
What are you doing?
Hey, Captain, I got one of them hostage. Captain walks up. Good job, man. I'm going to try and get these binders off. And he goes for he's going to try and rip the binders off himself.
All right, big money.
I
mean, those things just pay for themselves. All right.
When you were asleep, this guy wasn't very fond of you.
Shock him, Kalo.
I'm assuming this player turn.
Yeah, now it's 3 players in a row.
All right, you guys mind if I go first on this?
Go for it.
I'm gonna run up to him, gonna unlock the door, because I gotta phrase everything, and I'm just gonna. I'll just give him another yell. Why not?
A yell?
We take. Yeah.
You can't do it. It's a cooldown, remember? There's a cooldown.
Oh, my bad.
You gurgle a bit.
Alright, I'm gonna punch him in the mouth.
You're a bit
got
phlegmy.
shock gloves.
Yeah.
So you're going to punch the pirate that's holding Vuz?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's fine.
you can take aim, correct?
Yeah, if you take 2 strain, you can take an aim.
You've got one arm on his shoulder, the other one moving the fist around, getting it in position. Bam.
Cranking it up.
I feel like this is gonna go amazingly, but yeah, I'll... Do I have anything that I need to add to this? I'm not gonna take the extra strain because I feel
you're
like
not? Okay, sorry. No, then it's just going to be an average brawl check.
One more.
Sorry, yeah, average, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry, not very good with this.
It's okay.
What do we got?
You have a hit for success. That's pretty good. So how much damage is that? How much stun damage?
Let me find out real quick.
Also, you have three threat. I know what I'm going to use that for.
Oh no!
I feel like this is going to go badly for Buzz.
3 plus brawl, and it has stun 3. I'm not sure what that does.
So that's if you if you had 2 advantage, you could trigger stun 3 and do an additional 3 stun damage on top. That would be the electric effect. But as it is, you just have a base of 3, so you deal 4 plus 3. You didn't take the guy's armor off, so he still absorbs a couple of it. 4 plus 3. Sorry, how much armor does he have? Oh, okay. So yeah, you kind of smack him, and it. He looks like he's about to pass out, but he's not quite there yet, unfortunately. He's like, ah!
All right.
And yeah, and with the 3 threat, take 3 strain, please.
Oh my god.
Okay. So who would like to go next? I believe it's Walden or Vernon. You're both in the cockpit.
I'll just double time it over here and shoot the captain with stun.
Okay, so
I thought he
that's
was just gonna murder him.
So you're gonna have to definitely take 2 strain to be able to run that far. I assume. Do you have quick draw, or did you already draw your weapon?
We were in a combat situation. I assume I would have drawn it.
Sure. So
but
you
I
had
didn't
there was times you had maneuvers that I'll say those maneuvers were spent to draw a weapon. That's fine.
Okay.
So the captain, I assume you run up to short range. So if you could make an easy ranged light check. Do you have your weapon set to stun or?
Yes.
Okay. So just make an easy ranged light check. Sorry, it's against 1 red. Sorry. Oh god. Okay, the captain has adversary 2, so it's against 1 red, 1 purple. There we go. And then ranged light, whatever your ranged light skill is.
Shoot him up.
It's somewhere.
What setting do you have your pistol on?
Stun, I think.
Stun, yeah.
But I mean, what damage setting?
Oh, this is the heavy one I took off, actually.
So it's a 7 damage pistol.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your heavy? Is that your heavy ranged right there?
No,
ranged.
it's a pistol. But
Pistol is
I
ranged.
have a
Any
heavy
pistol is
blaster
ranged.
pistol.
Okay, gotcha.
And you miss. With 1 advantage. Somehow you miss.
Wow.
Okay, so what's your 1 advantage? Okay. You can recover 1 of your strain. That might be a good idea. Since everyone's getting pretty strained this session.
I'm gonna sleep for a week.
I'm gonna pass on a boost.
A boost to Walden, I suppose, right?
Whoever's next, yeah.
Yes, so that's Walden. So what's Walden going to do in this situation?
Okay, I'm just gonna have to go back there and take a shot as well.
This
So
is
what I'm
your
gonna
fault.
do?
Don't sound so disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I have to clean up everybody's mess, including my. So I'm gonna run back there. I'm gonna incur 2 strain, so that takes me from 8 to 10.
Yep.
That I have an incidental aim with the accuracy bonus on my weapon. So
Okay.
that's 2 bonuses, and
2 boost. And then your ranged light skill, which is very good.
Yep.
So hopefully you don't miss. You miss.
Guys!
Oh! With a despair. You know the best thing is that they're technically all engaged, so I'm going to say you hit...
wait, how did I get to? I have 2 successes in there, and there's only 1 success on the bad die.
despair also counts as failure, the same way that triumph also counts as success.
Oh, gotcha.
So actually, you hit Thar. What's the base damage of your blaster pistol?
It's 6.
You're no longer allowed to pilot this ship ever again.
So Thar has Force Soak, so Thar goes up to 18 out of 16 strain and passes out.
I don't know if he could hit. I think he'd have to hit Vernon there. Because Thar's behind a wall, technically.
I'm not engaged though.
So the way that it works in this is that I get to decide. So Thar gets hit.
Goodness gracious.
How? However, you got 5 advantage. So aside from hitting Thar, what would you like your advantage to do?
Jeez, I need to recover some strain. I'll remove 2 strain from what I took.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, so that will leave me at 3 advantage.
Yep.
And let's say, goodness gracious. Okay, so I can perform a maneuver, which I don't think I need to. I actually can't. No. So I'll give a boost to the next person, and so that's 1, and then so I have 2 left. I'll add a setback to the weak way.
To the one who's holding Vuz, or do you mean the
yes,
captain?
to the one who's holding Vuz, the Deveronian is captain, right?
Yeah, sure. So the weak way takes a step back. Cool. So who wants to go first in the start of the next round? Yay!
One of you two want to do it? I'm a little tied up.
Sure. I'll take another shot at the cap.
Yeah, that'll give you another boost as well.
Yep. Presumably you're going to take a maneuver to aim this time?
Yes.
Yep. So again, it's actually
Try aiming.
It's one challenge, one difficulty because of his adversary 2 talent. Okay. Despair.
Oh my gosh.
4 success though.
There we go.
Hey. Yeah, I only needed 1 damage for this guy.
Yeah, so you had, how much damage is your gun do again? 7?
7, yeah.
So that's, 11? Yeah, so Captain goes way over his strain threshold. And, and collapses.
Yeah, the guy in the chat called it exactly how I felt. The way it works is I get to decide.
Yeah.
That was a Bob quote.
It's
With
amazing.
the marks on each side of it, me. He literally said it in here.
Yep. So, so the captain's down.
Could I stack on a disadvantage on that weak way?
Another setback?
Setback, yeah.
Okay, so that's another setback on the weak way. Okay. So I'll allow that because I'm kind. Technically, you should only be able to add them to people that you're aiming at, but it's fine. I'll allow it.
Okay.
Because I said so.
The way it works is you get to decide, so...
Yeah, this targeted character, yeah.
The DM rules. There we go, baby.
So the weak way currently holding Vuz very tightly. Reaches down.
Me go.
He reaches. Let's see. So, Thar, when you didn't bring your gun with you originally. That I thought because didn't you drop your gun at the airlock when you?
I don't have a gun.
Thar, you don't have a gun at all. And Vuz, you just didn't pick your gun up at any point, I guess.
I assumed that when we got the prisoners, I just left it in that room.
Okay, so there's no gun. I was just making sure there are no guns on the floor.
Yeah, I didn't have one.
So the weak way steps over his captain towards. Well, actually, yeah, he's going to stay effectively at short range from you two, Walden and Vernon, and he says, "Drop your weapons, or the Solonian gets it."
What am I getting? Guys, I'm getting a present.
Ice cream.
You what?
I'm getting a present. What are you giving me?
What did Vernon do?
Ice cream. You're getting ice cream. It's fine.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to.
Not ice cream.
No, the droid attempt to emulate Bars.
Not
Green.
for. Not Fuzz. I've come around on him.
So he's actually going to coerce.
Oh, I'm great at resisting that.
He's gonna threaten Vernon here.
I don't.
So
even
you
know
have
what that's against.
Discipline, which you have two greens. So that's whoops. So that's the difficulty, and his coercion skill is actually pretty bad, because coercion is also willpower, if I recall correctly. Yep, so he's going to try and coerce you, but I'm going to say that he gets a boost because he's holding your shipmate.
But Vernon doesn't like
This is true.
He succeeds with one advantage. So, with that success, Vernon, you're successfully convinced that this guy's going to hurt Vuz if you don't drop your weapon. And since it's now the other player character's turn, which is Walden, and basically this guy's pretty convincing that he's going to hurt Vuz. So, Walden, Vuz, and Vernon. Well, just Walden and Vuz, actually, because Vernon's had the go. So.
Is he armed?
Yeah, he has arms. His arms are holding.
No, I'm just trying to figure out if I
No, he will just crush your windpipe.
Yeah. When it's my turn to act, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm running from a gun or if I'm just getting squeezed a little bit.
Just getting squeezed a little bit.
I'm gonna squeak like a plush.
So Walden, Vuz, what do you want to do?
Walden, you wanna go first?
Sure. So I'm gonna try to. Oh, geez. I'm trying to frame this in a way. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to negotiate the release of my tiny little friend here by setting down my gun and saying, let's not be hasty here. We can all make it out of this alive. We know that there's Imperials on the Fereallis, but you guys can still make it to a nearby hangar if we fly you guys over there. If you end up killing him, I'm gonna have to shoot you. And it's not necessarily like a threat. He's obviously outnumbered. He's pretty significantly outnumbered. So
you've been knocking people out, so you're not saying you're going to kill him.
Implying. It's not. So
yeah, you can make.
You either go to the authorities, or we can set you off. We can just let you go when we hit the hangar.
There's your negotiation check difficulty.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with that coercion piece.
Sure. So take the.
Sorry, not the coercion, but yeah.
Congenial.
Congenial. That's from 8 to 9.
Okay. Oh boy, he did it again. He did it again. He slowly puts Vuz down and says, all right. But you'd better not be double-crossing again.
Again!
Or I'm gonna have to call in some favors. And you won't be able to sleep.
You're threatening us on our ship?
So how are bounty hunters' licenses given out, and are they like ID'd by the specific person, or is it just a general license?
The IPKC, the Imperial Peacekeeping Certificate, is acquired by spending 1,000 credits at an appropriate registration office, which is usually a police station or another or an Imperial bureaucratic location. And it is linked to the individual. So each individual who wishes to bounty hunt requires an IPKC. Of course, if just one of you, there's nothing stopping you acquiring the bounty, then splitting it up afterwards, as long as you don't claim that anybody else involved was a legitimate bounty hunter. And Walden would probably know this because it's a pretty, the IPKC has been pretty well publicized by the Empire as the way to legitimately help out law and order.
Okay, so I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here.
Oh boy.
And I don't know if Triumph would necessarily attach to this, but...
It usually will.
Okay, so let's say that this guy has a bounty hunter's license, and I'm willing to negotiate with him to turn in his boss so that we can all share the bounty for that.
Okay. So you're going to say that you'll give him back his captain
as a bounty. If we all fly down, you'll go free. You get some money. You get free money for it because we know he's wanted.
So we say he's the bounty hunter in our crew. He turns in the bounty for the Fereallis,
and then we all share the profits. Yeah,
and he gets.
I'm going to say that unfortunately he does not have.
Okay. Does the Deveronian have a bounty hunter's license?
No, neither of them have bounty hunters licenses. They're pirates. They're only interested in gaining loot.
Gotcha.
They don't care about any kind of legitimate.
Could I use the Triumph to talk about the current action that's happening in the other ship right now?
Sure. I mean, you can convince him that he should just completely surrender, if you wish. It's really no use at this point. Yeah, I'll just convince him to completely surrender. It's really no use at this point. All your other shipmates are down. I'm sorry to say it, but this is really the end of the road for you. He just kind of sits down dejected on the deck and says, "Ugh, I don't hear good things about Imperial prisons." He looks very dejected.
Yeah. And I'll just go over and tap his shoulder. It's like, it's okay, bud.
It's okay, bud. It's okay, bud. Okay, now everybody can once again, because we've ended another combat encounter, you can roll cool or discipline to recover strain. On the comms, you hear the customs. So that's 3 strain. Whoever just rolled that, 3 strain.
Yep, down to 1.
That's pretty nice. And that's 2 strain recovered. And someone needs to give medical help to Thar because he's unconscious.
It's 1 strain for me.
Do any of us have?
I have Stimpack still. Okay. I think
it's not Stimpaks he needs. He needs just medical attention.
Medical attention. Oh, okay, so that's
only a medicine check can recover strain.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so it's just an easy medicine check. Any advantage, recover strain. Any success, recover wounds.
Robot internals are just like Authority internals, right?
I think I can do this. I went to medical school. I didn't go to medical school.
He recovers 1 wound, but he's still unconscious. So congratulations, Thar. You've healed. You've been healed a little bit. But you're still unconscious. You're going to need to sleep this one off. Unless you go down to a hospital.
I start dragging Thar to the bed, just roughly across the floor.
Thunk, 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 thunk. Yep.
Watch his head.
Apparently, I got it, Walter.
Organics are quite soft.
Yeah, so you get a comm from the customs. We've apprehended the pirates. We're ready to escort you down now. We'll take the Fereallis with us.
Okay, let's head on down.
And so they escort you down to a spaceport, and that's where we're going to go in for another break before the denouement.
All right, so we'll put this one on for about 5 minutes, I think. Then we'll come back and wrap up the prison sentence that we're gonna get for whatever we're doing.
3 counts of illegal bounty hunting without a license. I thought we were bounty hunting.
Guys, why are you lying to the Empire?
They've been so helpful.
All right, we're back. Is everyone here? I should probably have asked that before I press buttons.
Yeah, I'm here.
Caleb?
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay.
So, following the basically the customs cruiser, the Fereallis docked to the customs cruiser, and then the Avedon Hail following behind, heading down towards the surface of Esseles with some prisoners on board. Esseles is quite a nice planet. There's some very fancy architecture in places. So coming down, there's like this lovely green kind of almost like Buddhist temple mosque kind of buildings, but they're all in like this jade green. So it's very, very pretty. They've got the headquarters for lots of different industries. So it's a pretty bustling planet. There's freighters going to and from. You're landed in one of the main spaceports. Kuramel Intergalactic Spaceport, in fact, which is the main one of the main spaceports on Esseles. You're directed to a docking bay just next to the... basically, it's part of the IOCI building complex. So the IOCI is the Imperial Office of... what's it? Damn it, I have that. Yeah. Oh, I have that acronym. It's the Imperial Office of... Drumroll. Something kind of investigations. Criminal investigation, that's it. Yes, the Imperial Office of Criminal Investigations, they have their own landing pads, and that's what you've been guided down towards, while the rather large cruiser has docked basically with the side of the building. And, so you've landed.
So, which plan were we going with?
Aren't we telling them that we're not bounty hunters? We're bounty? I don't get it, Waldron. What's going on?
So we're not really bounty hunters, and we're going to let them know that, okay?
Okay.
But what we're going to get, we're just going to get the hyperdrive and the and we're going to get the active targeting.
We're going to get them controls from the Fereallis?
Yeah.
How?
So the thing is, we got to negotiate with the Imperial officer, right? And sometimes the Imperial officer, we like to kind of grease their hands. We're going to offer them something, and they offer us something.
Shouldn't we wash our hands then?
Of course, we'll make sure to wash our hands fully after we're done.
I think having greasy hands would get him in trouble at work.
Yes, it would.
I don't care. I don't like the Imperials. He can get in trouble at work all they want, but I don't understand how having greasy hands gets us the ship parts.
We're gonna need your help to actually get the components out of the Fereallis.
Well, yeah, I know you guys don't know what you're doing with mechanical parts.
That's very true, Buzz.
I don't get you. I'll go tell the Empire that we're trying to collect bounties, even though we're not bounty hunters, and then I'll put them in. You guys.
Oh no, we're not collecting bounties at all. Don't worry about that. Well, just let me speak first, and then once I speak, then you can speak all you.
Okay.
But you got to speak while you're moving to get those components, okay?
All right. I start heading off towards the other ship.
Okay. Well, this is kind of a big tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're on one landing pad, which is connected to the tower. The cruiser and the Fereallis are kind of docked to the side of the tower, so you'd have to go through the tower through the cruiser to get to the Fereallis.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way over to the Fereallis, I think. Is everybody
okay? So as you dismount,
how is our buddy Thar doing right now?
Sleeping.
Just still sleeping it off.
Could one of us just give one more try to see if we can get him up?
Sure. So again, it's going to be an easy medicine check. All you need is to get some advantage.
Well,
specifically 2 advantage.
Does anyone have better than
No,
4?
Unity,
Okay,
yeah.
because I'm the smartest.
Because it's been a short while flying down to the surface, so I'll allow one more try before you have to take him to a hospital.
It was easy?
Yep. Technically with a setback, because you don't have a
done it.
medicine kit.
Alright.
Go for it.
Okay. Just like the
Do I
droid
want to
kits
flip a
back
destiny
home.
point? Do I want to flip a destiny point?
Go for it.
On this?
Flip
On
it.
Waking Tharhub?
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, go on. Let's see how it goes.
Alright. I'm gonna give him a heart attack.
Oh. No, it just blanked out again. You did literally nothing.
You just hovered your hands over it and wake up.
I'm like standing there trying to like prod him with a wire, hoping it'll
This isn't a droid. Poor Thar.
This one goes there. That one goes there.
Okay, so as you're
Step
heading
away
down,
from a computer sometime. Jesus.
Where's the
That'd
input
be
port?
great.
Oh. It's levered. What?
I know.
anyway, as you head down the boarding ramp of the Avedon Hale, you notice a Imperial officer coming up to meet you wearing Compnor clothing. So it's kind of like a white uniform with some grey accents and a little rank badge on it.
Boarding
no
ramp,
ha-
you said? Like we're all up here?
Yeah. So you're coming down the boarding ramp towards said officer.
Hi, we're not bounty hunters.
Hey, I said to talk after I talked.
The officer looks somewhat surprised and at the fact that he's seeing a Klatooinian, a droid, and a Solonian come down the ramp. He coughs politely and says, "Well, I thought it was. I was told by the captain on the cruiser that you were in fact hunting the bounty of the Fereallis."
Would you mind taking a step inside? We just want to make sure that the person that we captured is in okay condition.
No, I'm afraid I'd much rather stay out here on the landing platform. You can bring him out here if you want to show me your quarry.
Very well.
That's the name of the guy playing me. Is that too meta?
Take a strain.
Oh, fuck. I made it 2.5 hours.
I don't know how you did, but you somehow managed.
I tried earlier.
So
Okay,
I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to him, and I'm going to basically kind of like take him aside a little bit and just kind of like explain the situation. So I'll basically start off with like, listen, we don't have bounty hunters licenses, but we are willing
His eyebrows
to
raise.
hold on now. We are willing to give our captives up to you so that you can take all the glory. We just need to get the two components. We just need to get a couple components off the Fereallis, and we'll consider that a clean trade.
Could you make a 4 difficulty negotiation check, please? Hey, he's a policeman. This is kind of what they do. They negotiate. He's good at hostage situations and such.
Could I spend another strain to reduce that down? One
if you
difficulty.
want. Yep.
Okay.
Destiny point, I'd say as well.
Destiny, yes. I'm going to provide a boost, just general assistance, the helpful droid.
Yep. You pop out a little data pad with some Imperial protocol on it.
That's correct. So the ability, because I have 3 proficiency on it, right?
Yep, that all looks fine. And you succeed with 1 advantage. Oh dear. I'm disappointed. He says, strokes his chin and says, "Yes, I suppose that could be amenable. You are revoking all right to any bounty on any of these pirates and their ship. You simply wish to procure some parts. And their ship is basically scrap at this point, and the original owner no longer cares what happens to it.
Mhm.
They most amazingly posted the bounty out of vengeance, as far as I'm aware."
With that extra advantage and success, is this a negotiation check? Right?
Yeah.
Could I perhaps negotiate for maybe some of the weapons and gear that the other crew members had?
he shrugs his chin. Yes, I mean, we obviously don't really care about holding all these weapons. They would just be taken down to be compacted. So you can have, let me think, one heavy blaster pistol. I think that's plenty.
I will gladly accept that.
Excellent. Excellent. You've done the Empire a great service today, bringing in these criminals.
And I hope we've done you a great service as well.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, you can have your engineer move to the Fereallis and disembark any components you wish to acquire. Do be careful of making a mess through the building, though.
We'll do our best.
Wait.
Oh, and do you have any... did you mention you had some captives on board?
Yes, I'll make sure to bring them out now, and I'll motion to Vernon.
Yes, please do. I'll call in some men to have them brought out. And he calms in, we have a couple of captives that need to be brought in for prisoner processing. A couple of Compagnon troopers come out wearing slightly different armor. It has kind of like different padding and different helmets, but they basically look like weird stormtroopers.
I'll make sure to call out that it's a Deveronian and the Weequay, not the Ithorian.
Are we allowed to stay here while we make some repairs too? Because I kind of just put a plate on the wall so we didn't vent atmosphere, and that's not really what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, I'm afraid we're not equipped for repairs here, at least not for civilian use. You'll have to go elsewhere in the spaceport and find a civilian hangar.
Not even for this shiny credit?
Holy...
Okay, so he looks down at you. You know, it's a good job you're a very diminutive Solonian, because otherwise I would have to take you in for attempting to bribe an Imperial official.
I'm not bribing, I'm just paying to come here. We pay to stay everywhere.
He rolls his eyes and just starts walking away.
Waldron, what did I say?
The Compagnon troopers walk onto the ship with their rifles out. They go into the bunks, pick up the Weequay, and the Deveronian just drag them unceremoniously out of the ship. They put fresh binders on the Weequay. They don't give you your binders back, by the way.
Yep.
So, you're all standing there on the boarding ramp. What are you going to do now?
Okay, we're going to go ahead and go make our way over to the Fereallis to pick up those components, I guess.
Well, they said they're just going to scrap the ship anyway. So do you think we could just ask them if we could just fly it to a scrapyard for them and do more salvaging on the way?
I would venture to say that there's probably some more people over at the Fereallis that we could talk to. This person here is probably not going to be very helpful in that specifically, but yeah, there's probably other Imperials that we could talk to over there. So yeah, we can make our way over to the Fereallis if you want.
Yep.
I'm going to follow you guys.
So you head into the IOCI building. It's quite clean inside. There's some protocol droids walking past, a few astromech droids, some Compagnon troopers, some what looks like administrative staff walking by. Very busy. They're all humans, all the staff, and they all give you very sidelong looks as you tramp through the building. They've been told that you're coming through, so they're not going to stop you, but they give you very sidelong looks. And clearly you're not very welcome here.
These guys all look so friendly.
A protocol droid is standing by the entrance to the docking area that the cruiser is attached to and says, hello. I believe you are the crew of the Avedon Hale who has been granted permission to access the Fereallis. Please follow me.
Go ahead and follow him.
Okay, so you follow the protocol droid through the central docking tube of the light cruiser. Again, attracting some odd glances from a few troopers who are sitting down on benches after the combat. You notice a few who have some blaster burn marks on their chests and stuff, with Spectre patches and so on. And as you head into the Fereallis, you see that the docking bay has been cut open by the troopers. And inside, there's like blood spatters and blaster marks, and a number of three of the pirates are dead on the floor. One of them is like twitching a bit and has a droid tending to him. And then there's another couple that are just sitting dejected with some blaster wounds and their hands in binders.
Is that droid an Imperial droid or a...
The droid tending to them is an Imperial droid, yeah. It's a 2-1B medical droid, so the same one that tends to Luke on Hoth, but it's painted black and it's got the Imperial IOCI emblem on it.
I'm gonna... Is that like a simple droid, or is that something that, a droid that I could actually talk?
You can definitely speak to it. It's an intelligent droid. It's
Okay.
programmed for bedside manner and stuff like that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go ahead and ask that droid if they could help out one of the crew members that actually took this ship down instead of one of the crew members that actually actively tried to attack the Imperial troopers.
I'm sorry, sir. My medical attention is for prisoners and staff only. And it goes back to its work. You can try and convince the droid.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that we have an Apicam medical service member on our ship, and we would really appreciate it if a member of Apicam would actually be able to have some assistance from you.
So if you could make, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing here.
I'm trying to, I guess, charm it. It's not deception or anything like that. I'm trying to convince it to do something, so it's not necessarily a negotiation either.
Okay, yeah. So if you could go with an easy charm check. Medical droids aren't really known for their super high presence. Actually, no, it'd be average, because it does have some bedside manner. So an average charm check.
Oh, no. Oh.
1 success, 2 threat. Okay. Very well, sir, but I must notify my superiors. It kind of drops it stands up from the prisoner and walks off down the corridor back through the light cruiser. Meanwhile, back on the ship, the droid eventually shows up and performs some medical care for our good pal. It has medikits built in, so it's actually a pretty effective medic. And
A very effective medic.
hey, 4 wounds and 2 strain healed on our pal. That brings you just round. So you sit up.
How bad is my headache?
Somewhere around a 9.5.
Imagine listening to Buzz for an hour straight.
Whew, that's like an 11.
So you sit up and there's a 2-1B medical droid standing over you who says, I'm glad to be of service, sir. Here is the bill for your service. And he hands you an invoice for 300 credits. Because that's what happens after after it went and told the superiors that it was going to do medical assistance. They charged you for it.
Are they charging Thar or Walter?
They gave Thar the invoice. Give Thar the invoice.
I'm just gonna nod. Is the droid gonna leave?
Yeah, the droid just gives you the datapad and leaves. Like it's not there to administer the debt.
It's not account receivable.
But now you have a 300 credit debt to the IOCI. If you could make a note of that.
Yeah.
I should note that you probably don't want to keep a debt to the IOCI, but you can if you want.
Payments of 5 credits per month.
Interest of 25%.
If you miss a payment, the stormtroopers come and get you.
I'm just gonna lay back down and wait for something to happen.
Okay. Meanwhile, back on the Fereallis, the droid has left. You're there, basically alone. The crew members, by the way, they have they're bound and their mouths are covered. They can't speak. They're just looking very sullen. So, what do you want to do on the Fereallis?
So,
did we get our stuff?
I'm gonna go ahead and motion to you, Vuz, and go. You can go ahead and take those specific components.
All right.
Yep. So, removing a component from a starship will be along the same lines as installing it, if I recall correctly. Good Customization, blah, 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 blah. How many customization hard points how many did the gun use up, by the way? Do you remember?
It was the gun specifically, or which?
Yeah. The
that
auto,
was
the
one.
auto blaster. One?
It was
Okay, so
one.
you have 5 hard points left. That's
Yes.
good. Where is the information about... I should just look at the PDF and stop being an idiot.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
It's like, damn it, I've paid for this book.
Advanced targeting array is base 1. Hard points required 1.
Okay, that's
rarity
cool.
4.
Okay,
That
the
helps.
rarity isn't a big deal. I'm mostly interested in how much it...
Cost?
what it takes to uninstall and install.
Gotcha,
in terms of
gotcha.
difficulty.
Is that going to be in the
Let me
crafting
get
book?
documents. It's not too big. Starship vehicles follow the rules for attachments and mods. Installing each mod costs 10 times as much on a Starship. Okay. Chapter 5, gear and equipment. Customization and modifications. Installing mods. Okay, modding attachments. Attachments basically just plug in. They don't actually take any check. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so attachments to the ship unless they've been modded, which these haven't, they don't take any mechanic skill to attach or remove. So you can literally just load them up, pick them up, and carry them out. The advanced targeting array is a pretty chunky piece of computer equipment, which is wired in to the plugged in to the Fereallis' computer systems around near its gun turrets, and the advanced hyperdrive is in the engine room attached to the hyperdrive.
All right, so I'll just do that stuff while other stuff happens then?
Yeah, it takes a little time, but it doesn't take any actual skill.
Okay.
Aside from, it's a good idea that Vuz does it because I'd probably make other people at least attempt to roll.
I'd like, while he's doing that, to... Go ahead, Corey.
No, that's just kind of the reason I was hired on the ship, I think, so they'd probably expect me to do it.
Okay. So I'd like to just take a look around for anything small and valuable.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Could you make a hard perception check, please?
All right, we're allowed to do that. Never mind.
It's 3, I think. 3 difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep, hard is 3.
Take me half an hour to find my perception.
One yellow, 3 green.
Oh. Nice.
3 success and a triumph. Well then. Okay. Let me have a look.
Find a
Let's
lightsaber.
see. No. Not quite. Let me see. So,
You find a person in the smuggling department.
I mean, it's possible.
I don't think we want to try hauling one of these people off the ship.
Could have been a hostage.
We're not taking a hostage in the middle of the correctional facility. It seems like a bad idea.
So you find that there's some holding. As you walk around the ship, you find holding cells. There's no one in them right now, and there's a small cargo area. Well, actually, a pretty large cargo area with some crates which are mostly empty. There's just some foodstuffs and so on. I'm going to say with the let's see. So you had 3 success, no advantage, and a triumph. I'm going to say you find. Let me have a quick look at some interesting equipment. You find a marked sabak deck. So this sabak deck is basically, it allows you to gamble more easily because it's, marked. So you know what the different setups of the of the cards will be ahead of time. So if you choose to go gambling, which is a very valid pastime in many parts of the galaxy, you have a bit of an edge.
Interesting.
Gambling is deception, incidentally, for Sabak. So you can add a boost. It adds a boost to deception checks made when gambling, and it's very, very hard for people to tell. And in this case, I'm going to say it's a high quality marked Sabak deck, so it's a 4 difficulty perception check for anyone else to notice that you have a marked Sabak deck. And with your 3 success, you get 300 credits of miscellaneous chits lying around.
300?
Yes, 300.
That's enough to pay Kayla's medical bill.
It wasn't picked out of thin air. 3 times 100, you know? Sometimes these things just work out. So yeah, congratulations, Vernon. You have found some loot. What's Walden doing while Vuz is moseying around, carrying heavy bits of equipment all on his own?
I'm going to look for possibly like an officer or something like that. So I'm going to try to see if we can fly the ship out to a scrapyard.
Okay, so you're going to need to head back into the light cruiser for that.
Okay.
You head back in and move towards the bridge where the captain is sitting in his chair, looking relatively relaxed and pleased with himself. He turns around and says, I think I was told you're one of the bounty hunters, yes?
Yes. So I would like to... best way to describe it. Yes, we happen to we already collected everything we needed. We're all set. I just would like to offer you an extra service for free. We can go ahead and take the ship off and send it off to the scrapyard if you'd like.
Can you make a hard charm check with a boost?
Yeah.
Sorry, negotiation check with a boost. A boost because you're offering it for free.
Yeah.
Want to use that last destiny point?
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing.
You know what? I'm going to use the destiny point. Too slow.
Okay, I'm going to incur strain, so you're going to up that. You upped it 1, and I just downed it back 1. So
okay, so you take a strain. So I spend a destiny point to inflict a strain upon you. I smite you! Oof. Once again.
Double try.
So he coughs and says, well, that would be definitely outside of protocol, but yes, I suppose. I'm afraid you'll have to take a rather... Look, our usual scrapping operation is part of the IOCI, and we send it in, we get credits for it and so on, and usually as the capturing captain I'd get a cut of that. And if you take the ship, I'm not sure I can guarantee that I would get such a cut. So I think I would like, at least 200 credits, but otherwise I'm definitely very happy for you to take it off our hands.
Vernon walks up and slaps 200 credits into his hand.
He jumps and says, your droid appears to... This is your droid, yes?
Yes, and he's very forthright with payment.
Excellent. Well, I mean, it's excellent doing business with you. What's your name?
I am Waldern, and we work with Athacam, actually, so we're happy to help you guys.
Excellent. Well, next time you're on Esselies, don't hesitate to contact me. I'd be happy to point you in the direction of any other bounties. My name's Captain Valda, by the way.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Captain Valder.
Does he like to garden? You know where I'm going with that?
Just at the strain.
I did. Yep. Okay. Anyway, if you could, take that bucket of bolts out of our side. I'm afraid our men did some damage to the inside. Oh, and just let the chaps in the docking tube know, and they'll drag all the bodies out for you. We don't need those going in the scrap heap, do we?
Obviously not. Chuckle. Okay.
He's like, oh, you're a good friend now with the triumph.
He saw past the Clatuinian outer shell.
And saw the little pug dog underneath. Because to be fair, you do kind of look like a little bulldog or a pug.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and walk out of that ship. I'm gonna let Vernon take the Fereallis, and we can fly both the Fereallis and the Avedon back whenever we finished attaching the mods.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that has happened now, and Vuz's comment that there are a few like little repulsor lift carts in the cargo hold of the Fereallis that you can use to push them through. So this little Solonian with Walden pushing some cargo carts through the police office, through the police station. It's great. And you return to the
Avedon.
To the Avedon Hail, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty quiet, except presumably Thar's there, I don't know, watching Holonet or something.
I'm going to yell, Thar, you up? Thar, you up? I sent a medical droid after you.
I'm going to walk up and slowly just push the bill against his chest. What's this?
That's a bill.
Well, you'll be happy to know we'll get to pay with it after we scrap, quote unquote, the Fereallis.
What are we doing with the Fereallis?
We can do whatever you want with it.
Within reason, don't forget that, as I remind you, its transponder is currently set to the Fereallis, a ship with a bounty on it still.
Yes.
And the bounty's been cleared, but technically the ship is still an illegal possession.
Mm-hmm.
It's stolen goods, effectively. For reference, Vernon, as you get into the rather dirty bridge area of the Fereallis, it's pretty spacious, aside from all the junk kind of scattered around.
I thought our ship was bad.
It has 8 hull trauma currently, and 5 system strain. And of course, it currently has the shields failing critical, which means its defense, all its shields are down. So it has no shields, 8 points of hull trauma, and 5 system strain. Otherwise, I will send you guys the ship stats later. I think you can access them. I think the TL 1200 is actually on the.
It is.
Pretty much all of the.
I'll add it to my vehicle list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there you have it. You've captured a ship. Are you going to fly off to a civilian landing zone to get repairs done? Because the Avedon Hail is pretty beat up.
Yes. We're going to have to.
Yeah.
Somewhere with side-by-side docking bays so that we can just have the Fereallis next door.
Okay, so you head off to Coramel Spaceport has loads of civilian docking bays. Are you looking for the cheapest or the safest?
Everyone just gets quiet.
I don't want to die.
Middle ground? I mean, we don't want to just land in the rat-infested underbelly,
okay.
But...
So the docking... So the docking fee, it's a core world. It's not cheap, I'm afraid. It's going to be 100 credits per silhouette. So 500 credits to dock the Fereallis, and 400 credits to dock the...
We're poor!
The Avedon Hail.
You know, about that rat-infested underbelly.
How? We could just go and scrap the Fereallis right now, take what we want before leaving, and...
We could try and give it back to its owner. See if he'd give us something for it.
The Imperialist said the owner didn't want it back.
Yeah, the owner is like halfway across the galaxy, so the ship was stolen quite a distance away.
I'm pretty sure this was all just an insurance thing.
I'm gonna hold up my hand. What if we tried to give it to Athacam? Maybe they might give us something for it.
Oh yeah, it's a freighter ship
that has illegal registry.
They can change that. They have enough money.
Didn't sound like they liked doing that sort of thing.
You know who we're working for, droid? We just smuggled Dioxys to the Empire through Athacam. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that they're a big fan of illegal and underhanded tactics.
But they could just buy a new ship. They
Well, we
are
can just
a
tell them-
major corporation.
But if they have a ship that is illegal, they can just pass it off with easy deniability. No, that wasn't our ship.
Fair point.
We can just tell them everything, and then they can make a choice. We can call them.
Why don't we just let's give them a ring-a-ding-ding. Let's call them up.
Sounds good. I'll head back up to.
Before we pay to keep this thing, I mean...
Yeah.
So presumably you guys have just kind of gone off into low orbit or something like that, and you're both just both ships just kind of floating. Obviously, I mean, you can save all the power in the world on the Fereallis. You can turn off all the life support and stuff because it's just a droid on there, just kicking back, relaxing, playing with his sabacc deck.
Or would you like to join me in the cockpit here?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Vuz, would you mind installing all those modifications?
I can do that later when we know what else we need to take off the Fereallis.
Okay.
I think it's fine. They know who he is. They know he's kind of weird. All right, I would like to try and initiate some sort of communications with Athacam.
Okay, so you come in Athacam, and the usual secretary says, "Oh yes, Avalon Hale, are you looking for another job?"
Well, kind of. We're in a bit of an odd predicament, and we thought maybe you guys could benefit. Waldern?
Yes, it's actually not necessarily a negative one. We have managed to acquire quite a large freighter, but it has some not so savory credentials on it. The cost of changing those credentials would actually be cheaper than getting a new freighter. So we would be happy to give this over to you. We don't need another ship for a fee, though.
How exactly did you acquire? I don't actually want to.
There was
know
a
how
bounty
you
on it,
acquired.
and then we were going to get it, but we don't have bounty hunter licenses, but we managed to convince them to give us the ship.
I close comms.
No! I'm gonna stop his hand. Hold on. We just went with what was the abbreviation? Imperial
IOCI.
IOCI.
We were just talking to IOCI. This is perfectly legal. The officer gave us the ship.
There's no bounty on the ship anymore.
There's no bounty on the ship anymore. It's been claimed. The ship, by and large, is in the clear. The owner doesn't want it anymore.
Yes, well, it's still stolen goods. What do you think Athacam is going to do with this freighter? How damaged is it anyway?
We shot it a lot.
It's in fairly decent condition.
I suppose the company can consider buying it from you. Let me talk to our assay officer, and I'll let you know how much we're willing to part with it if you send us the details.
We'll send you the
Assuming we just have
details
that
and just wait.
information.
Yep.
Do 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 do. You put on hold music. You're getting the cantina music. Do 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 do.
Oh my god!
Do 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 do.
It's that same stock music.
I'm dancing.
Because Buzz has no taste. They get back to you. Well, so it's obviously well used, not legal. It will cost us a few thousand credits to change the transponder codes. I suppose we can give you 15,000 credits for it.
That sounds...
Yes,
Can we-
please.
Can we
Yes,
negotiate
we'll
to 25?
Sure, make a hard negotiation check with a setback, because the ship is damaged and illegal.
I'm going to try and offer some assistance here on the basis of we know who we work for. This is the type of ship you'd want to be able to throw away at a moment's notice, as opposed to a brand new ship that actually has clean credentials.
Okay, so that's a nice boost. So wait, you have an additional...
I added a destiny point as well.
Oh my god!
Okay. You really want to get some more money out of this, huh?
Got a medical bill to pay off.
2 failures.
Oh my gosh.
But there's a triumph.
She says, I'm afraid we're not going to negotiate any higher on the credits. However, we may be able to talk about some fringe benefits for you.
Oh yeah,
All part of the Athocam family, of course.
Always, always.
My family doesn't like me anymore.
You know, we're all kind of injured right now. Would you mind helping us out, just helping us get back on our feet?
Of course, just come by our offices on Raltia. I believe you're nearby in the core, so come by our offices and we'll give you some medical assistance.
That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too, Walden.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that was pleasant.
my family doesn't like me anymore. I tried this type of negotiation with my dad, but all he did was scream.
So you get a transmission a little later telling you where to drop off the Fereallis. In fact, they basically want you to take it to one of their landing pads on Raltia and drop it off there. So now, I think that is... and then upon delivery of the Fereallis, you'll be given the 15,000 credits. And with that, I think that's an excellent place to end the session.
Awesome.
And with the start of next session coming up, let's roll some obligation. Haven't done that in a couple of sessions because of reasons. So if Walden has his mouse nearby, Walden can roll. No?
I have my mouse. We're going for these guys, right?
Yep, the D100. Let's see
Awesome.
what we're getting.
52.
Oh boy, 52. 52. That is Thar.
Oh yeah.
His disgrace obligation. We may be running into some more Ithorians soon.
Uh-oh.
They buy the
Excellent.
ship instead and put me to shame.
You've already been put to shame.
Yeah, no, that's already happened. It's just got to happen again.
Your family doesn't like you either.
No, they really don't.
Okay, that's excellent. And again, I'm going to say, I think this session, because you guys conducted yourselves with mostly aplomb, let's go with 20 XP.
Woo!
Oh boy! All right, just before we end off there, how are we going to split up the credits?
Ooh.
Well, you don't have them yet.
We haven't actually.
We're not
You'll get them at the start of
gonna
next
yada
session.
yada that next time. Okay, I figured we'd be starting with. Okay, never mind then.
No, we'll sort that out at the start of next session. A bit of arguing over credits is always a good way to start an Edge of the Empire.
All right, so that will happen in 2 weeks because next week is once again going to be Jackbox. So that means the next one, what day is that? That is the 14th of April, it looks like. So yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for GMing and not killing us, Bob. And thank you for joining rest of the party here, Inertial, Kalo, and Sleverd.
It's been a good
Just watching comedy, guys.
It's comedy.
Yeah. See y'all next time.
Goodbye.
Any other closing comments, anyone?
Yeah, it'll be okay, bud.
It'll be okay. You're just going to be going to jail for the rest of your life, man.
Hard labor on Imperial prison worlds.
Next time we'll just do a one-off where we're playing that crew in prison and just seeing how depressing their life is. All right. Good night, everyone.